Welcome, everybody, to the National Havoc Robot League. My name is Dima Papazian, your favorite announcer, and we are here in beautiful Norwalk, Connecticut, bringing you live robot combat action all day long. We are kicking off today with the morning prelims to see who's going to make it through the gauntlet and into the bracket later for our prime time tournament. I'm joined by my good friend Gwen McGuire in the play-by-play booth. Gwen, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty great. I slept well, I'm suited up, I'm ready to go, and I cannot wait to see all these awesome robots beat the absolute pulp out of each other.
I think today we have as much energy as the competitors themselves do. It's pretty hot out there today, but we are cool as a cucumber here 7 miles deep in the underground bunker. We are here to call the action, and we are starting off with Horridus versus Unicorn Sparkle in Cage 2.
Absolutely. Nothing quite like a flamethrower to keep us nice and cool on this hot summer day, huh?
Ironic, isn't it?
Isn't it?
There's nothing cooler than robot combat, and there's nothing cooler than fire. Horridus backplate. Never really seen googly eyes there.
It's nice. You got to check behind you. Make sure that nobody's going to sneak up.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Unicorn Sparkle having a unique, well, maybe not so unique anymore, but the multi-bot flame configuration. Let's see if they can get some control with that multi-bot.
Yeah, it's looking like Unicorn Sparkle's going to really have to try to dodge around, control some space here. They've got a massive, massive blade on that thing, and they're going to really have to make sure that they don't let themselves get pinned up.
Horridus is taking the start of this fight slow, but here are some impacts.
Absolutely tossing around one half of Unicorn Sparkle. The other one looks like it's starting to have a little trouble getting around. Maybe just a little too zippy.
Yeah, I think they need to see some more cooperation to get those center of the arena pins that we're used to seeing from the multi-bot flamethrowers.
There we go, giving the camera some love.
That was, I love that shot. All right, Horridus is getting some impacts, starting to. It needs to get some hits, right? It needs to get some juggling before it can start really controlling the fight. Because if it doesn't get the impacts, here's what happens.
Gonna just get toasted and toasted and toasted. It looks like they had a couple of those nice 1-2 juggles. Keeping the pressure up is gonna be key for Horridus to get out of here. It's all about just maintaining their will and imposing that will on Unicorn Sparkle as much as they can.
Looks like one of the unicorns is stuck with the forks in the wall, forks out of the wall.
Yeah, one of those risks you play with when you're playing that fork game is sometimes you just get stuck between the kick plate and the floor. You might dig a little too deep in there. They might be able to get their friend to pull them out of there, but it's going to be real tough.
They look like two little cute caterpillars, I think. The classic sort of mixtape shape, but low to the ground, and the pink and purple colors. They look so friendly with when the fire's off.
Very cuddly.
Horridus doesn't look like it's taking a lot of fire damage. I don't know how much of that is the flame tape versus how much of that is they haven't really been affected by the classic pin and flame that the flamethrowers need to do damage in this sport.
Absolutely. Horridus has been doing a really good job of just getting around the other sides of Unicorn Sparkle, both halves really, making sure that they stay out of that danger zone.
Pun intended, this seems like a warm-up for both of these drivers. Feeling their bot out and feeling their opponents out at the start of the day. And all the marks in Cage 2 are from them. Privileged to start with a fresh cage and break it apart as much as you can. And that's the match.
Yeah, that'll bring us to the end of the first.
I don't want to think about who won that so soon. I'm going to leave that to the judges, but skill matchup for sure when it comes down to trying to land. When you're Horridus, you're trying to land attacks on 2 robots dodging you and trying to pin you at the same time. And when you're Unicorn Sparkle, you have to work together.
Absolutely. You got to really, if you're Horridus, you want to make sure that you're bobbing, you're weaving, you're staying mobile, staying light. And Unicorn Sparkle really just has to leverage that numbers advantage. Get the 2-in-1s, try to keep it up, and they did a pretty decent job of that today. We'll see how the judges decide.
Have you ever considered making a multi-bot, or you're going to fly solo Top Gun style your whole life?
You know, everyone needs a wingman. That's the thing, right? And for me, I'm always lucky to have such fantastic people cage side with me, but I see the way that you and Julian synergized back in the day, and like it brings me so much joy to have somebody with me, and I could only imagine it's going to be better if I get a second person in the mix too, in the cage.
There's just something about the co-op gaming with the multi-bots. Some people hate facing multi-bots because it's complicated. You have to worry about 2 targets and 2 attackers. But for me, it's just, there's something about the teamwork. There's something about the teamwork and the dream work.
And it's really nice. You get that just real spirit of the friendship, the family, the cooperation. It's crazy.
Speaking of real spirit, it's been a while since I've seen Googly Eyes in the cage. It's fun to inaugurate today's event with 2 robots with Googly Eyes,
Oh, yeah.
technically 3.
You know, I actually saw somebody handing out a big packet of Googly Eyes up in the pits earlier today.
It's been too long.
It's been a
too
little
long.
It's been what? And what better time than summer to just get back into that?
For those that don't know, Googly Eyes have been an ever-present motif here at NHRL. I'm not going to say that Googly Eyes have fallen off. I think it's a bit rude to Googly Eyes, but you know, fads come and go. So it's nice to see the Googly Eyes come back.
Yeah, Googly Eyes are like the Y2K of combat robotics. They're back in now in a big way.
Googly Eyes are like the Y2K of combat robotics. I was afraid they were going to cause the apocalypse.
You know, I actually have...
You have a Y2K story?
I have a Y2K story. Yeah, I was 2 years old. No, I have a Googly Eyes story.
Sure.
So I often have people stay in my apartment from out of town for NHRL events. It's nice. I like being able to save some friends a couple bucks. And one day after an event, I woke up, went to take a shower, and I noticed that there was a Googly Eye on my ceiling looking down at me.
Just one?
In my shower. Just one. I have no idea. I have pretty high ceilings in my bathroom. Not to brag.
So you don't know who was tall enough to
I don't
prank
know.
you?
There's only 1 or 2 people it could have been. I just don't know.
You're narrowing it down like a detective?
I'm going full like Benoit Blanc on this. I got to figure out who could have done this horrible, horrible thing to my shower.
We have a lot of Beatles today. I'm really excited for some new names, but I'm really excited for some old names.
Mm-hmm.
We are loading in. There's our boy. There's Lars with Impact versus Toby Roan, who I have yet to see fight.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with Toby Roan, but I'm sure if you've been around in combat robotics for even just 2 or 3 events at NHRL, you know who Lars Elliott is.
You know who Lars Elliott is. You know who Impact. You know what Impact is. But Impact gets iterated on every single event that it comes. It's when you're seeing Impact, you're de facto seeing the most powerful Impact there has ever been because it only can get more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
But Toby Roan looks like an interesting design here. I like those big wheels. I like those forks on the fronts.
Yeah,
I want to see it get kicked back onto its butt after it gets turned on. Here we go.
There we go. Now it's got a little bit of a monster mouth to it. You see that? It's got some real... Oh, it's going crab style.
What is this?
It looks like it might have kind of a row of something up top that's sticking through that yellow cheese wedge.
Some engineers might feel insulted by this question, and some engineers might feel proud when you ask them this question. But I feel like asking, what is this?
That's a great question. You know, it's an undercutter.
It's an undercutter with a sort of cheesy triangular Toblerone design. Big wheels with no guards.
Toby Roan.
I feel dumb.
You know, this might say a lot about me more than it does about the builder, but I heard Toby Roan and my first thought was horses.
5,
I don't get it.
'Cause it's like a color of horse.
3, 2,
Anyway.
1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Let's see if Toby can get a nice...
Oh.
Goodness.
Oh no, that might have been a one-hit KO.
That might have been down. Yep.
Second hit
There's
of
your
the
tap out.
Second hit of the day, we have a OHKO. Stands for one-hit KO, even though it's the same syllables. That can sometimes be the consequence of these heavy plastic construction.
Absolutely. Toby just got absolutely larsed.
That's what happens when you go up against a champion.
You're in there, and it's you, it's impact, it's the ceiling, and it's the floor.
The baby bell red plastic on the all of those shards just from one hit.
That's tough.
At least it was round one, and now we in prelims you are afforded one loss in prelims. When you're in bracket, you don't have that second life anymore. But Toby Roan is still in this. Getting red. That's also part of the quick tap out strategy. You gotta end the fight. Don't take another hit. We're gonna have to fix this sucker up so that we can get ready for our second fight.
Absolutely. It's never over until you're absolutely over. And Toby's got another chance at his next one. So Lars is going to be feeling pretty good about that. He made a lot of big changes between the last event to now for Impact, but that should give him a lot of confidence in those changes.
Well, it's funny that he decided to take a 12-pound to its first ever tournament. Just figured on a whim, let's just win the whole darn thing. And it's not like he's only focused on that 12. He's still making changes on Impact. It's not like, oh, well, now I have a bigger robot. I'm going to focus only on that robot. It's I just won with 12s. I'm not giving up on 3s, though.
No, absolutely. And he's still got his 1-pound robots even beyond that.
We don't run 1-pound competitions here at NHRL, but many NHRL competitors will often, they can't get enough of the sport. They may fight in other divisions and other weight classes at other events. Ooh, nice little plug here for anybody curious. If you go to bretzone.io, every single fight here today will be available on there. Even fights that aren't being streamed in the mainstream, even fights that aren't in our 2 main cages. And not only that, you have access to multiple camera angles from every single camera that we have in the cage. You have overhead angle. You have cool sort of ground level angles from the corner. So if you are as much of a fanatic of this sport as I am, please go to bretzone.io at least once in your life. Just check out all those extra fights. And say what you will about this sport, but oh my goodness, I've been in a lot of sports. I've never had the privilege of being able to just go and check out another camera angle of my favorite fight.
Oh, it's tough. It's tough. It's one of the things that I always see. Like, I'm a big soccer head. One of the biggest things that I always see get posted online, you try to find out what other camera angles can I see? How many angles can I see this corner kick from? And we get all that on the Brett Zone just for free.
We are loading in Cage 2, still in Beatles for right now. This looks like a really interesting bot on the left. I want to get a closer look at it as soon as those big vice grip weapon locks are off.
Yeah, you've got Termination Shock from Alex Grove at WPI. And you've got B-Drill. It looks like...
B-Drill.
B-Drill. Looks like a couple of top attacks, if I had to guess. That's pretty clearly looking like one of our contenders as far as... top attack robots go. Termination Shock turns up and it splits you in half.
Contender is absolutely the word I'd use for Termination Shock, but it looks like B-Drill is going with the alternate method of top attack. It looks like they have drills.
What's better than one top attack weapon, Dima?
I should have guessed by the name that it's drills. That's on me. That's 2 names in a row where you show me the robot and I'm like, yeah, I should have guessed.
And there's your googly eyes as well.
Ooh! Shuffler alert.
Shuffler alert. Sound the shuffler alarm. Oh my goodness, it's so bouncy.
I was focused so much on the interesting top printing and those.
Oh yeah. Oh, they alternate.
Giving us a show.
My goodness. All right. I hope when this thing's slugging around the arena, just churning through. I hope to hear it buzzing and buzzing. I think it's going to give us a nice big drone sound like a big old bee. I want to see this thing get some hits in.
I'm really excited to see this fight. It'll be fun to see it take some hits too because it's got a really big fun shape.
Yeah.
But I want to see those drills do some damage.
Yeah, and interestingly, no top armor on Termination Shock.
5,
Maybe it didn't know it was a bar.
3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
This is not where you want to be against the hammer saw. Cutting into the... Oh, those are some exposed wires. You got to be careful. Looks fine for now after those two hits, but can't let this happen too many times.
Yeah. Alex is doing a great job of focusing that same drive side, making sure that he's picking his shots to do the most damage.
Yeah, it looks like one of Beedrill's shufflers might be down after those hits. That is googly eyes coming off. Ablative armor. Well, the shuffler does give you a weight bonus, and it does allow that weight to make you a pretty big robot, but that also means it's bigger they are, the harder they fall when it comes to getting pinned and pushed around by a robot with good ground game like Termination Shock.
Yeah, that's the tough part of being such a big, wide robot is that it's more for your opponent to hit as well.
Yep, bigger target, a bigger hitbox. Beedrill arms moving a little slowly. I don't think it's really dished out any damage yet. I think it's having a hard time getting the angle that it wants so that it can actually send the drill where it wants to.
Yeah, haven't quite seen that big corralling action that we're getting a lot of from Termination Shock. Beedrill's having some trouble turning that back around on him.
Looks like that hit cut a fork off the front. That's going to hurt the ground game even more.
And that shuffler's looking really exposed now.
The Termination Shock's weapon spinning a little lackadaisically.
Yeah, he's got some kind of guard on it. I wonder if that's keeping a little extra heat in. Maybe it's having some trouble spinning it up with that.
Not all shufflers are this loud. It does have that bee buzzing sound.
It's got a little bit. It makes me feel like I'm walking through the woods and I'm starting to get a little anxious.
I'm waiting for it to take another attack, but there's the tap out.
There you go. There's your tap out.
Exactly what we do in prelims sometimes when we decide this fight is a loss. I don't see a route to victory in the next minute, and I have to make some crucial repairs.
Absolutely.
But I really hope we get to see Beedrill again. If not on mainstream, definitely on Bread Zone, because not only is it a shuffler, not only is it a drill, not only is it a double drill with gearboxes, it's also just has that super interesting design on top, that very organic looking print.
Absolutely. I love designs that are just completely out of the conception of what you think a robot ought to look like.
Can you think of a second drill robot we've had at NHRL besides Power of Friendship? Is there a second one that comes to mind?
I'm not sure.
Now, Power of Friendship had two drills, but that was on two segments of a multi-bot.
Right, famously separated.
I've never seen double drill on one single robot, but it is borrowing the sort of angled drill top attack that we've seen on Hot Wings and Buffalo Wings.
Right, absolutely.
So we have seen this style, but that robot used glow plugs and was trying to top attack with heat. This I've not seen top attack with kinetic with this double action. It's just cool. It's just so cool.
It's really cool, and I love those kind of off-axis attacks that you can get when you go on this too, because some people will put top armor on that's just like a nice flat plate, and it does a lot of work for you, absolutely.
But we can get creative.
Exactly. You vary your angles of attack, and all of a sudden, your armor's not working as well as you thought it was.
Well, we're afforded the wiggle room to be so creative in this sport, so some people take advantage of that, and some people see success with it, and some people, they show us things we've never seen before on the regular.
Mm-hmm.
That thing is a handful with the weapon locks on. Looks like we are still in cage 2 for now, as long as we're going to get broomsticks and sweep the debris from this 3D printed carnage out of the cage. I think we are loading in... this is a tough one to pronounce. I think we're loading in Iceblade versus Quinquarame. I might have to pull up the pronunciation sheet if the builder has written it down for me.
I've asked 5 people and gotten 7 different answers.
You've asked about this robot already?
Yeah, no, just about how to pronounce it alone.
Yeah, there is a bot pronunciation field that is optional in the builder sheets. And if you have 2 Q's in your robot's name and you don't fill out the bot pronunciation field, I'm not going to take it as an attack on me, but you are making my life a little harder. But it's not me you're worried about, is it? You are worried about your opponent. Iceblade. Doesn't get much cooler than that on a hot summer day.
Absolutely. Iceblade's been around for a little while now. I've definitely seen this bot, seen this builder around. It's good to see people keep on bringing bots back over and over, honing their designs and just really making something work.
So this builder has just opened up their own merch shop, their own apparel shop, and they are a coach of a robotics team. Builder being Mike Oyster. Pretty classic matchup here. We have a vert versus a classic horizontal, not necessarily an undercut or anything like that. It's more of the classic tombstone style shape that we know and love. Iceblade has some really cool design elements going on though. It's got 4 forks, playing a really nice ground game. It's got a hub motor going with a keep it simple style weapon that's going to spin really fast. Get some impacts that'll throw you around, but also dig into you, also cut you.
You know, seeing Kinkerme go wedge and forks first out of here makes me think we might get some thagamizing action out of this.
Ooh, if only, if only.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Yes,
Oh,
we
there
sure,
it is.
We sure are. You called it, Gwen.
So, ooh, very nice to see. Going in very dynamic strategy, both leading with the forks or getting those swings around with the Thagamizer. Very interesting kind of robot. It's like a horizontal in that the weapon spins that way, but they're going to want to try to get these big attacks by swinging the whole weapon around, kind of like a horizontal hammer saw.
They've already got that. They already got some damage taking a fork off of Iceblade with these Thagamizing attacks. Oh,
Stuck doing the thing. You hate to see it.
first thing of the day, and they come in teed up for a great shot. Stuck on the kick plate again. Iceblade calls for their unstick. Looks like the unstick is successful. They're going to be on their wheels. But all this damage they've taken, and they looks like they're eating some of their own plastic on that left drive side. They're scoring some hits, though.
Nice follow-up on that wheel guard, showing at the moon.
Driving themselves into the wall. They have to be careful with that because Quinn Quareme doing a great job of taking these shots when they're open. Oh no, KO count's going to start. Ref lets him know we got to see motion or else we got to start the KO count. 7, 6, 5.
Nice victory dance out of King Karimi as well. Iceblade still spinning up, but no motion, and that'll do it for them.
That will do it. Can't wait to see. This looks like a really awesome Thagamizer that we don't see a lot of in Beetles. We see this in 12 with the classic Maximizer, but it's been a while, a few events since I have seen a Thagamizer in the 3-pound bracket.
Yeah, I've actually been in the process of looking into one myself for the Beetles, or for the 3-pound bracket, and it's really difficult to make the physics work as well as you need.
The physics are different in different weight classes. Some robots may be stronger scaled up in size than when you scale them down. They're not necessarily as effective as you thought, or vice versa. Sometimes you take a design and it works. You think, oh, this works okay in the 3-pound bracket, and you scale it up in 12-pound bracket and it works way better.
Absolutely. It's one of those things that sometimes just with the distribution of your mass, with how much certain materials weigh versus others, you can allocate your mass a lot differently and use different manufacturing methods depending on what type of robot you're building and how big it's going to be.
So when you say manufacturing methods, could you expand on that just a little bit for me?
Yeah, so especially in 3-pound robots, a lot of the time you'll see 3D printed materials, plastics like nylon or TPU, and it's one of the things that gives these 3-pound robots their insane durability. It lets them absorb a bunch of hits, tank a lot of damage, and then as you move up in weight, you might start seeing a little bit more either laser cut or plasma cut metals, really rigid things that you can tap screws into and build more rigid, strong frames. But then, especially in the 30s, you see some mixes of these two, where you want to have some things that are rigid relative to each other. You want to have some components that are shock mounted, like your gearboxes, your motors. It's important to make sure that the things that stay put always stay put. The things that need to move have a little bit of wiggle room so they don't get too banged up.
And when the physics change, the materials that afford you those qualities, like the wiggle room or the anti-brittleness, so you don't break or shred instantly when you get hit, those materials change when the physics change. Something that's effective in 3-pound is going to be differently effective in 12-pound.
Right. Something that you might see as a big structural component in a 3-pound robot might only be like an electronics divider or an internal pocket in a 30-pound robot. They get different applications depending on what kind of robot you've got. Actually, speaking of something that's very dependent on these sort of 3D printed materials, we've got a great fight about to load in between Max Morningstar with actual size and our classic friend Tom Farkas with Galumph.
Tom Farkas is well beloved at NHRL, but at home with the viewers, his robots are much more beloved because they are so memorable. You might remember him from on our social media, one of our most popular robots of all time, Positively Hysterical. He's also ran Chelsea Clockwork Princess. He's also ran Frank. Tom Farkas typically runs really interesting, cartoony robots that more focus on form over function, but Galumph, this robot here, looks like he's tipping the scale more towards function this time.
That's looking like a pretty big horizontal spinner I see on there, and he's got a shuffler on it, so he might be gunning for those big old wheels. He looks like he's really going to do some damage.
That angle is going to be really interesting in this fight, especially with the way Max Morningstar has set up actual size with that sort of cantilevered inward on the wheels.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It doesn't look very symmetrical at all.
No, it's
Or
really...
is one of those wheels bent already?
No, that's on purpose. So usually a lot of big wheels can set up with canted wheels on both sides, but by only doing it on one side, he makes it so that his blade is also off axis.
I see.
So we could get some sideways slicing attacks.
This is really interesting.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
What? Tom starting off with the... He's not moving too much. He's waiting to let Max come to him. Oh, no.
That blade's certainly moving, though.
They're just wrestling each other. Oh, no. It's time for actual size to do some schoolyard bullying on Galumph.
He's just scuttling around in the corner now. Oh, no. It's rare that you see a big wheel get a big pin like this.
It's like seeing a beetle or a ladybug that you put on its or a turtle on its shell, just watching the legs kick under it. Here we go.
There you go. Flips him back over. That's a good sport.
Galumph is alive.
Looks like that weapon blade might not quite be spinning as well, though. Those gears are still there, but they're looking a little loose.
Well, here's the thing with all of Tom Farkas's robots. They're all very little engine that could, and we're seeing it right now again.
What? Yeah, it absolutely looks like something that could just be in somebody's toy box.
This victory lap feels mean because he's got some swag on it.
Knockout.
He's hitting the stanky leg with it.
He's hitting the stanky wheel. Max. Max Morningstar shaved his head, and now he's acting all evil. And how better to prove that you're an evil villain at NHRL than take the cutest bot? It's like the opposite of prison, right? Prison is you want to walk up to the scariest guy and punch him in the face and show everybody that you are not to be messed with. In NHRL, you have to walk up to the cutest robot, break it as fast as you can, and tell everybody, I'm not here to play, I'm here to win.
Max Morningstar, I'm not calling him evil Max Morningstar. He's still the same guy, but he's just showing more of himself now.
It's just more about whether you emphasize the Max in his name or if you emphasize the Morningstar. Not to be topical, but he sounds like a Masters of the Universe character. Looking like one, too. Ooh, we have a treat. We're getting out of the bowl and bouncing over to cage 5. We have Anubis versus Wormhole.
Ooh, excellent. Wormhole we haven't seen in ages, but they're coming back with a massively overhauled robot. Coming against Anthony Pereira with Anubis, a very regular competitor here.
Ooh. Anubis got very far at Pro Tour last month, so he is the one to beat in this match. Wormhole is a little bit of an underdog when you're looking at results from previous events, and the hits are showing you that right now. That's belt off Anubis. That weapon looks broken, though. Sometimes you hit him so hard, you break your own fist.
Yeah, it's going to make it a real uphill battle for Anubis. There's some pretty interesting wheels out of Wormhole as well. It looks like they've got a bunch of little, almost like cilia, little feet coming out of the wheels.
Yeah, it looks like a shuffler, but I don't think it is. That's really
Oh,
interesting.
it tricked me.
Oh, no.
Calling for his unstick. Anubis is beached over in the corner. We'll see if Brett can get in here and help him out.
Wormhole trying to intimidate the house spot a little bit. The house spot maneuvering around him. Clever driving by our cage managers trying to complete the unstick. Oh, no. Is a KO count coming, maybe?
Sure seems like a really nice driving from Wormhole.
This is a really big upset, honestly.
Massive upset.
Not to talk too much about results and stats, but man, Anthony made it so far at Pro
Knockout.
Tour.
It just goes to show how much of an absolute meat grinder it is in this bracket.
The 3-pound bracket is a meat grinder. That's exactly how I would describe it.
Full of surprises.
Does not matter how tough you are. Everybody is here to win. And the 3-pound bracket being more accessible means that sometimes a robot can show up out of nowhere, and it is so perfectly constructed just the first time you see it.
Absolutely.
Nice little close-up on the safety procedures here for those that don't know. Safety first at NHRL, we get those weapon locks in as soon as a fight is over. Make everything ready to pick up these little robots and get them out of the cage. But we're going right back to cage 2 in the bowl. Who do we have here?
Looks like we got Cookie Crumbler going up against Hubris.
A little bit classic blue versus red, though the corners are flipped. Who assigned these?
Got a big old hub motor vert with a nasty looking weapon against a classic two-wheel drive beater bar.
Really smooth chassis here.
Yeah. Very nice and wide, too. We should see a lot of big corralling movements from Hubris.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Uh-oh, you don't want to give up your back too soon. You want to stay head-on.
Oh, that's tough. But it even seems like Hubris had a pretty good time in a couple of these weapon-on-weapon engagements, too. Wow.
Vert versus vert, that's what it comes down to a lot of the time is weapon to weapon, and Hubris is definitely ahead right now. Oh, no!
Oh, no!
Tap out.
That's a battery out. That's going to do it for Cookie Crumbler.
Our
Just
first disembowelment of the day. That's guts on the floor.
fully taken apart, falling from the sky. Oh, no.
No, there's not, but we're going to take a good look at it before I can let you bring it upstairs, okay?
Yep, cage manager saying to the driver, we are going to be really careful with this battery that just got smashed. We are no stranger to fires from these electrical components taking these massive impacts, but like I said, safety first. We have sand buckets at the ready for situations like this to prevent those battery fires that are not going to happen just in the 3-pound bracket. Those happen in every single bracket.
For sure. Thankfully, it looks like we've kept the magic smoke in this time.
This time.
This time.
Weapon locks in, and then we turn the robots off with these nice little hex keys as are customary in this sport. You can roll with different power switches, but for efficiency's sake, pretty much everybody uses these little hex keys.
Yeah, it's fun seeing a lot more personality out of the actual wrenches that people use.
You can get, there's so many, it's not just the robot, you can personalize anything.
Absolutely.
Personalize your weapon locks. Personalize what you use to turn on the power switch.
I mean, as we see,
Have,
even
have
your
a match,
outfit.
yeah, have a matching outfit for your robot. You know, I'm a big Cookie fan, which is clearly about to go on a little bit of a tangent here. It's nice to see, you know, in this sport, some of the robots are very threatening, very classic. You see on the ticker tape here, some robots are named things like Eruption that are meant to intimidate you or represent their power. But Cookie Crumbler, it's going to crumble you, of course. It has a threat in the name, but it's sweet.
It's very sweet. I saw even the builder was handing out fresh-made cookies up in the pits earlier today too.
Come on, I'm not a competitor anymore. I don't have any regrets, but I get some FOMO if I hear there's cookies up in the pits.
Well, we can all do a little wandering at some point.
Nice little ticker tape is showing us who we might be seeing later in the cages today. Saw a robot named Kakarot. Pretty cool DBZ reference. We're seeing the ticker tape show us fights that have happened on stream for those that have not tuned in earlier in today. Yep, Termination Shock beat Beedrill. If you rewind the stream on YouTube or any of the streaming platforms that we are on, you can see that today. You can see previous fights. It's pretty nice to be able to do that. Yeah, we have sweet robots like Snugglemuffins. And we have scary robots like Blacksite.
Snugglemuffins is one that I've kept a little bit of an eye out for personally. As you know, I'm a big fan of putting a lifter on anything, but especially on a robot. So when I see somebody that puts a vertical spinner and a lifter together, I'm happy.
All of these fights on the ticker tape you can see on bretzone.io. Please, I am begging you, if you are a fan, you can see every single fight in every single cage. They are recorded and streamed later on Bretzone. You get access to multiple camera angles. You can even make your own edits if you so choose. Just make sure to show me them after. But we are loading in Cage 2 right now. This looks like OO, hope I'm pronouncing that right, versus Gummy Shark.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's been a little while since I've seen a shark-themed overhead saw attack robot, but I'm really excited to see Gummy Shark.
This is a robot after my own heart. It is not a clone, I won't say that, but it is clearly taking some inspiration of an NHRL classic, My Brother's Robot, Mako. The classic, an overhead saw, it's not a hammer saw, it's an opposable saw with a different kind of arm, and looks like she even has the off-the-shelf Shizuyu classic. Oh, I'm so happy.
That's royalty for Sawbot builders.
Not to talk too much about Gummy Shark, it's up against a really, really cool robot. I was pronouncing it wrong. It's pronounced 00. It is from Team Whiplash, who is also here today with a different robot, but here's their 3-pound robot. It is a driveless bristle shuffler with dual melty-style discs.
It's crazy. It's got 4 pounds worth of spinning weapon on this robot.
5.
Engineering doesn't get much cooler than
3,
this. Now this is pod racing.
1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Speaking of racing, that's some massive speed out of Gummy Shark, too.
Got to have a lot of speed and control. Oh, no!
That's going to make that speed a little bit tough to come by now.
Accidentally ran their back into 00, which is, like you said, 4 pounds of weapon. If you touch that thing, it's like classic Super Mario. If you touch an enemy, you're dead. Do not go near that without some armor. Okay, they spun down for a second because they're bumping up against the walls, but
it's going to be real tough for Gummy Shark to even pick a shot here, too. They're going to be slicing into a moving target constantly.
Raven McGuire, the driver of Gummy Shark, is looking to try to pick a shot on a vulnerable part. But that's the thing, is when you are a double bristle drive like this, there's not really a vulnerable part. So you have to try to get one of those giant discs to stop spinning and then cut into it. Well, easier said than done. Let's see if she can make it happen.
Oh, takes a shot there, trying to snipe that little interconnected middle bridge between the two.
Oh no, that's a Mako classic. You want to be a shark. Sometimes you're gonna lose some teeth. No saw blade left on that robot. Gonna be hard to cut, but maybe you can try to do some pinning and sumoing.
It's gonna be real tough. Somehow, despite coming into the fight with 2 wheels, now we're only down with 1 across both robots, and it's still looking like Raven's got some good control, still taking the fight to 0-0.
Jason Vasquez, the driver of 0-0, can take this fight at his own pace completely. Like he dictates what happens for the rest of this fight. If the other opponent's weapon is down, one robot is clearly in the driver's seat, but it's so slow that Raven can do a good job of avoiding him, avoiding danger. Even with 1 wheel, just pointing the baleen forks on the front, that wedge is really hard for 0-0 to get past.
It's interesting seeing 0-0 just shamble across the arena, just stalking to wherever Gummy Shark's going to be next, like
here
a
I come.
horror villain.
Here I come. Better not get close to me.
Better not. Gummy Shark's doing a pretty good job of keeping that big, toothy baleen comb out in front of it, too, to try to minimize the impact of those hits.
This is a really hard matchup in general for the kind of robot that Raven has, which is a wide control mixed with that overhead attack. It's really hard robot to get pins on because it is so threatening when you walk up to it. And it's hard to cut into because the top, it's not necessarily, you wouldn't call it armored, but you know, the old adage, the best defense is good offense. It's hard to cut into something that's spinning like that.
It's all moving weapon, and that makes it really difficult to get a couple good hits in. But we'll see what the judges think of that and make of that fight.
I think I have a good idea of how the judges are going to score that. Nice little prove it period here where Raven does get to show. I'm missing one wheel, but the other one works perfectly fine.
Absolutely. And you heard the whine of that weapon motor. We'll see if that chalks in at all. But
see if the
looks like 0-0 is still 2 for 2.
Let's see if the judges factor in the whine. But no saw blade, but the arm is still working. That is maybe she can go upstairs in the pit and ask Julian for some advice because that I've seen that happen. I've been in the cage while that's happening. That you have to make sure that saw is secured. Can't be too secured because you might smoke out your motor, but if it's not secured enough, it might just spin right off, and that's exactly what we saw.
There's a fine point right in the middle that you got to try to find that sweet spot.
We are definitely going to be seeing more of 0-0, I think. Man, it is a cool robot. It's just so beautiful.
It's really easy to look at, and honestly, so is Gummy Shark. I really like that they're leaning into that name, too, with the very kind of translucent looking TPU all over the robot. It's very, I guess, snackable. I don't know.
Very, very edible. Very edible robot.
Very edible robot.
This little builder fact about Raven here, she says that she was on a VR esports team for a game that no longer exists. Have been there. I have been a pro at games that they don't run tournaments for anymore.
You never know. Do you ever stay at the top of your game on those just in case you run into someone in like a bar that just has that console out or something?
So you kind of have to stay frosty because people our age, they love going to barcades. Mm-hmm. You cannot get got at a barcade at a game that you used to be a pro at. That is a shameful experience. But I will say I'm maybe not as top of my game at those old games as I should be because that has happened. That has happened to me.
Yeah, I've had that happen where you go out to a barcade, as you do, and suddenly you're staring down a Super Nintendo with Super Mario World in it, and all of a sudden you just start feeling the call. You have to try to impress your friends, or if you're there with someone, it's unbearable.
You got to get your name on the machine.
You got to get in there.
You got to get. Now, Gwen, here's a great question. When you are at the arcade and you get the high score and you put down your 3 digits. What 3 digits are you putting down?
That's tough. So it depends, you know?
Yeah.
For me, lately it's just been GUN, because, of course, I'm Gwen. But you can't really shorten that too many times.
GWN looks like Gwoon?
Yeah. Or like a gown, maybe. I have a friend also called Gwen who goes by Gown sometimes.
Interesting.
But for me, it's just, I'm locked in. Gun. Done.
I usually like to go for some of the funny ones. I don't go for the crass ones, but... You know, if I was to win, if I was to get a high score later today, it would probably be Dima.
Very nice.
It's easy.
Well, what's your arcade game of choice? If you had to pick one, you're rocking up to one console.
So I'm a fighting game player at heart, but I can't pick fighting games for this answer.
Mm-hmm.
There is a boat racing game called H2 Overdrive.
Oh, don't I know it?
You ever sit like those games where like you sit in the race car seat, but this one it has like a clutch, but it's like a boat clutch.
Yeah.
So you have to rocket that back to throttle. It's so fun to play, and if you're at a bar and you've had anything to drink, you get so nauseous so fast. It's a lot of fun.
It's even worse if you've ever seen like the motorcycle ones where you're leaning on the entire. It's full body.
We are back in Cage 2, back in the bowl. We have Caldera versus Lightly Toasted. A fitting name matchup here. Caldera, one of the classics of the sport. Glenn is a fixture in the community. This might be the day where he qualifies for his 6th World Championship?
6 consecutive, yeah. He's on 5, and he's really gunning for number 6.
It's no surprise a robot this competent and this consistent qualifies every single year. I have no doubt if this is not the event he qualifies, he will be qualifying.
Yeah, he will be back one way or another.
There is such a thing as a commentator's curse, though, so maybe I should hold my breath a little bit. Don't want to jinx too much.
As we saw, there's no such thing as a 100% certain matchup.
No, no. There's no free lunches in this sport or any other. Waiting for that countdown on your marks. Some nice font on the top there.
It's got some nice little pat of butter right in the middle too.
Ooh, little 70s vibe with that. It's like something I'd have in my kitchen on the wall. Like a nice little like bless this mess style kitchen decoration.
Little live, laugh, love action.
Yeah. This is a live, laugh, love type of robot. We don't see a lot of those. Caldera, number 2 seed today. I'm not surprised, but man.
It's crazy. When you have these builders that just keep coming back and honing the same robot over and over again, they just get to a point where they seem absolutely unbeatable on paper.
If you want a high seed, you got to play like Glenn. And that's what those are the 2 words I used earlier, competent and consistent.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Lightly Toasted is going to take the fight to Glenn.
Oh, no. Those corralling forks are instantly shredded off along with those metal wheel guards. That's damage. All of these hits are counting.
It's going to make it really, really tough for Lightly Toasted to keep their control up.
Oh, and that might be a weapon down, too. Smacked his weapon right up against Caldera. Nope, we're spinning back up. We're still in this.
He's still got some life in him, but he's starting to go into fight or flight mode where he's just scrabbling to try to find space, spin up, and just get a reset.
All of his armor is coming off, but as long as his weapon can still spin, he can still win.
I'm not sure I'm seeing any spinning.
Yeah, the weapon might go down. It's one thing to take one hit on the chin like that, but taking a few, I see some sparks might be sparking up against itself trying to spin.
Still doing a pretty good job trying to break Glenn's fist with his own face, though.
Yep, that's still a hunk of metal that you can drive into Caldera's weapon assembly to try to disable his weapon. Not getting much luck with it though. Glenn is cool as a cucumber, driving Caldera, doing the classic sort of flashy figure eights that he always does. That's part of what allows him to get such ferocious bite on these hits. Speak of the devil, all of that bite gets you stuck in entangled.
Might have bit off just a little bit more than he could chew out of there. Looks like the wheel is fully just shredded out and caught up in Glenn's blade. Oh, goodness.
This is absolutely an oh goodness moment.
Okay, I'm pausing the match to perform an entanglement.
All right, we are pausing the match. Cage goes red. That typically signifies the end of a fight, but we also use it to say time out. We are going to disentangle these 2 robots, as happens sometimes.
We're going to see someone get in there with a safety crowbar, a pair of super pliers, anything to try to separate these 2 from each other.
These horizontals are like 2 loud kids in a middle school classroom sometimes. You got to break them up. You got to separate them. All right, you kids are having too much fun. Let's change your assigned seats.
You ever horse around a little too much with your friend and you're just jammed up in each other by mistake?
You ever horse around with your friend too much and you accidentally jam a weapon in them? Happens all the time.
Happened in my middle school. I don't know.
What classic sort of Twitter prompt? What was the incident at your high school? Well, 2 kids got stuck together.
This one kid ate the other kid's wheel guard. It was a whole thing.
It was a whole to-do.
When are we getting Combat Robot High School?
That would be a fun AU. I was one of those kids who wave dashed to school. I don't know about you. Did you have any kids that could double jump in your gym class?
We had a couple. There was.
No, you didn't. You're lying.
Well, I was one of them. It's the thing. So.
You can double jump?
Yeah, you've never asked me to show you, but I can.
Can you fly?
No, that's a different thing. It's a totally different set of muscles.
Entanglement almost complete.
There you go. Very nice job getting these 2 separated.
Yeah, that was a pretty funky one. That wheel looks like that has a lot of zones where a weapon could get caught.
It's like a fine lace.
Got it. Gotta go the other way.
So we know a lot about this here back in the play-by-play booth.
All right, back to house
as staff, but also as competitors
Competitors, are
at
we
different
ready?
times in our
We're
career.
going to resume this
Getting
match.
unstuck means
3, 2,
they get you unstuck, but after that, they try to just leave you in the same position. So we're still basically right up against each other, so they instantly created some distance and then got right back to fighting.
You just resume and try to get right back on, keep the pressure up. Sometimes a bot can take advantage of that change in momentum and swing things back in their favor.
But Lightly Toasted is going to have a hard time. That it's not operating with its full faculties, let's put it that way.
Yeah, we got a pretty good look at what that wheel had seen, so it's going to make it real tough.
Tap
And
out.
there's the tap out. I do not blame them even for a second. Good fights. As always, Glenn, the driver of Caldera, put on a little bit of a masterclass driving there. If you want to get into the sport, if you're already a competitor and you're watching this, if you want to learn some great driving, watch Caldera. Caldera in 3-pound. There's also a Caldera 12-pound that looks and drives real similar.
Absolutely. It's just such a no frills, but it's clinical, you know? He always does exactly what he needs to.
You say no frills, but there's like there's not frills, but there's a beauty in the way he figure eights. He's constantly getting around you. And horizontals do that all differently, you know, maybe depending on their weapon or their drive mechanisms. Like we see Buzzkill in the 12-pound, it has that sort of like intimidating circling that it's doing. But Caldera's figure eights allow it to like get to the side of you and your weapon assembly while also staying square with you. It's like high offense, high defense. It's nice little ticker tates on the bottom. Would you read some of these for me, Gwen?
Yeah, sure thing. We've got, of course, we saw 0-0 with Jummy Shark, but we see that the JD goes to 0-0. We've got Stress Concentration with a forfeit win over Tiger. Unfortunately, that happens sometimes if you can't quite get over the line in time, but they'll have another chance later. Georgia Tech bringing back Anomal V this time. Defeated the Trundler by KO. It's a big win for them. They've had a little bit of a tough time. And Captain Chaos defeating Stress Concentration by tap out. I want to talk about Captain Chaos for just a second, actually.
By all means.
Do you remember Sad Octopus from last year?
Sure do.
Absolutely dominant robot. Very great robot. It's had a lot of deep runs here at NHRL, over other places as well. Captain Chaos is the exact Sad Octopus that we saw at 2025 World Championships, but it's being driven by another member of the family. It's being driven by Nora instead.
I have some familiarity with this. Turbo Fiend is being driven by my brother today, but I used to be the driver. Sometimes when we have a swap of driver, the whole game changes. You can put two drivers on the same robot. They're not going to do it exactly the same, and they may do it drastically differently.
It's really interesting to see what different people will do with the same tools that are provided to them.
Absolutely.
I've even seen some teams will have whole like bot swap events where they just say, hey, here's my robot, here's my toolkit, you go play with mine, and maybe you find out something that you would never consider because you get a new perspective.
You get a lot of experience that way.
Absolutely.
This sport is, there's engineering and there's reflexes involved with the driving. Experience is a huge part of it that I think gets undersold a lot, and I think it's part of what makes some of our top tier drivers as great as they are. It's one thing, I've fought a few times versus I've fought 100 times with a bunch of different robots. You could throw any robot in the cage and I'll have a pretty good idea of how to handle it. Sticking in cage 2, we have a lot of beetle weight fights to get through. We have a lot of 3-pound robots to get through because the 3-pound bracket is the biggest bracket today. It is a gauntlet tournament, and who better to show you what it's like to battle through the gauntlet? Who else loves battle more than a berserker?
Get a load of those horns. Oh my goodness.
It gets
that thing
cooler
looks
every
nasty.
time. It's cooler every time.
It's got wings now.
It's got like Viking devil wings, the red and the gold, and not just any gold. This is like a beautiful shade of gold. This is not costume jewelry gold. This is battle brass gold.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's real gold leaf on there, if I'm being honest.
I would be surprised. You might not be. I would be surprised if somebody was putting gold leaf on their robot.
Well, stranger things have happened.
We have ideas for how to. If anybody is at home or listening and you have an idea for how to make your robot as swag as possible, throw some flakes of leaf on there. But not to hype up Berserker too much because it's up against Warp, which has a really cool weapon design.
Absolutely, for sure. And look at those the detail on that robot too. That's really easy to look at. And I'm going to feel bad when this first hit happens because it's going to be two works of art getting knocked into each other.
Yep, one work of art is gonna get destroyed, I think. Those wings were just part of the weapon lock too. That wasn't even part of the chassis.
Putting that much effort into your weapon.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Let's see who's gonna win the weapon-to-weapon engagement. It's bigger on Warp versus badder on Berserker.
These massive, massive central forks of Berserker really doing some work to corral Warp and just get them out of harm's and keep Berserker out of harm's way.
Berserker not usually one for the ground game, but right now it's really working out for them.
Berserker's just showing Warp every single part of this cage, just taking them around town. Oh my goodness. Really nice hits, just letting the forks act as a ramp. Warp can drive up into Berserker's weapon and just send themselves flying. But now one of those forks is gone.
Here's my turn, though. Carter Benioff, driver of Warp, not out of this fight yet, taking control of these impacts. Oh, that was a huge roof shot.
Just trading blows to the ceiling.
Oh,
another.
That impact, I felt that one.
We're only a minute in, and I feel like I've seen enough debris to be a final. This is crazy.
Just because we are in prelims does not mean the action is any less than what you will get from primetime. Both of these robots and the drivers are fighting their heart out. You can see it clear as day, but the Warp is stuck on its head. Excuse me, not the Warp, just Warp.
Nice job getting enough torque to bump out of that and get back on their feet, though. Can they keep that pressure up and take the fight back to Berserker?
The weapon was down for a moment, but that impact might have jostled them to life. We are spinning back up, and we are... Oh my goodness. It's hard to gauge the damage. Both of them have taken so many big hits.
Looks like they're switching from a more aggressive slam into the other and a little bit more reserved, trying to jockey for position.
Yeah, it looks like Berserker's trying to control the center of the arena. Interesting strategy. Warp is having a hard time being aggressive without kicking itself up on its head.
It's tough when you get those moments of oversteer where you end up accidentally showing your back to your opponent as well. Berserker's doing a very good job capitalizing on those hits, though, and chaining them together.
Mark Kansberg on Berserker. Staying aggressive. I think this fight is going to come down in the last 30 seconds to who can be more aggressive. Who is more aggressive than the Berserker?
Warp's definitely looking like it's having a little bit of trouble imposing its will and doing some real harm over to Berserker now. They're starting to struggle even to move out of that corner from the house spot.
This is not how you want to end the fight if you are Warp. Taking these last impacts, make it look a little more out of your favor for the judges. That was an amazing fight. We've seen a bunch of different kinds of fights. We've seen KOs, tap outs. This was one of the first like real slugfests of the day.
It kept it up the entire time too.
A lot of micro decisions go into a fight like that. Not just where you're aiming, how fast you're spinning, whether you're oversteering, what to do when you're upside down. There's so many small decisions. That is a fight that represents one of, I think, the most crucial aspects of what makes a good driver in the sport is thinking on your feet.
Oh, for sure.
You could be the best planner, but you've heard the classic adage like everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. You get hit in a weird spot, your robot, your chassis bent out of whack. All of a sudden, you're not driving the same. You got to think on your feet. How am I going to handle this?
You have to stay flexible. You have to be able to adapt depending on what your opponent's doing, what damage you're taking. If you see some opportunity, you have to be able to stay flexible.
Physically and mentally limber. That is how you win in maybe any sport, but especially this sport. Get those very cool wings on there. Not to gas you up too much, man, but you know what you're doing. You know how cool your robot is. Like when that thing comes out of the printer, you're like, damn, this is cool. This is cool.
Now, am I right in saying that Warp actually has some pretty cool printed parts on the inside of that blade, too? It looked like the whole thing was actually on a kind of spring kind of webbing deal.
Yeah, I'm really interested. I like those spokes almost. I'm
Yeah.
interested in see how that affects like the tension and the flexion when that robot dishes out or takes impacts.
It's a really cool way to just I haven't seen that before.
That blade didn't break, and it was Berserker of all robots, so you're doing something right.
I'm sure it saves him a bunch of weight, too.
Now, Carter Benninghoff, the driver of Warp, says on his builder sheet that he started off with a vector kit. How cool is that?
Very cool.
For anybody at home who's interested in getting into the sport, there are kits available. We have an Eric kit here at NHRL, and there are also independent sellers with their own robotics parts companies. I personally got my start with my brother when my brother bought a SSP kit. We may see some SSP kits today. I believe Pretty in Pink is here today. SSP kit that we've seen at a couple of events recently. It's a really good entryway into the sport because not only are you given everything you need to put together the robot, you're given a lot of resources on how they get put together, how the robot functions, and what you can do to make your own changes.
Yeah, even just the process of building and taking apart a robot a couple times teaches you so much about what to look for, what to emphasize, and how to maintain it.
Yeah, it might seem intimidating at first, but just like if you've ever, for anybody at home, if you've ever built your own computer, it's really scary at first, and then you do it, and you're like, oh, it's putting together Legos.
Yeah.
Robots, it's very much like, it's very scary. What is an ESC? What is a gearbox? And then you put it together, and then you feel like, this goes here, this goes here, this goes here.
It's
and
all
I'm
just playing blocks.
and I'm good to go. A lot of things on this God-given earth are just playing blocks. Gwen, would you sign off for me really quick?
Yeah, absolutely. I had a nice time talking with you this morning, Dima. Looking forward to seeing the rest of the fights today, and I'm sure we'll talk again later.
You will be back. I am certain. Because we have fights all day. We have the KO show in prime time later today. So stick around if you are a Gwen head, because she will be back. But right now I am welcoming maybe everybody's favorite driver into the play-by-play booth with me. This is a special occasion. We are welcoming Jake Hoffman, the driver of Maximizer, a multiple-time dumpster-winning robots, and a good friend. So we're signing off Gwen, and we are signing on Jake.
Yeah, I have the unfortunate position of having to follow Gwen up. I mean, that's tough.
Just do your thing, man. Just do your thing.
That's tough.
Everybody loves you.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Everybody at home loves you. In the cages, maybe not so much.
Right. It's a bad day to be on the other side of the cage.
So it's a bad day squaring up against you.
Bad day being on the other side of the cage. That was a great fight. Berserker versus
Warp.
Warp. Fantastic. That was some great watching. I enjoyed that.
That was a skill test.
It really was. Mark was a little hesitant in the beginning to hit those follow-up shots, but by the end he was all over him. So yeah, it was a great back and forth, and he was able to capitalize on those moments when Warp's weapon was down. It was dope.
Just like in all of life, you can't be afraid of success. Can't be afraid of those follow-up hits.
No, you got to go for him.
But we are loading up, still in cage 2 in the 3-pound bracket. We are loading up Mothership, that lime green robot, versus Funt, the black robot with orange wheels. Real quick, if you're going to name your robot in a different language, I really encourage you to put a pronunciation key for me on the builder sheets, because I know that some of these builders are going to go back and watch this. It's okay, though. Mothership out of Groton, Connecticut.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Two similar robots like this really battle hip speed, and it looks like Mothership is winning.
Yeah, when it's weapon to weapon engages and you both have the same weapon, it's a matter of speed and strength.
Yep.
Mothership is winning these head-to-head weapon engages, and here's exactly what we want: those chain hits. If you're a beater bar, you want those chains, you want those combos. Now it's Funt's turn, though.
Stuck in the corner. Mothership coming out okay, still full functionality.
Every single one of these hits, Ukfunt's beater spins down from the impact and has to spin back up. Those are opportunities for Mothership to come in and do exactly this.
Down a drive side on Ukfunt.
That's part of the snowballing of the sport. If you take some damage, it's easier for your opponent to hit you and dish out even more damage. Here's where things might start to unravel for Ukfunt.
No weapon on Ukfunt now. Mothership going in hard. It's a part of the fight where you think about tapping out. Think about lunge. Anything else.
We talk about there's a lot of decisions that have to get made in the cage, and here's a situation where I might have to decide, is there a route to victory, and would it be smarter for me to tap out so I can make some repairs? But I personally...
You never know.
I'm one of those never give up type of people.
You never know.
What if the opponent's robot just battery dies?
It's never too late to lose. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like when you're winning a fight, it's never too late to lose.
This is Mothership.
Oh,
Yep.
no. Dima, what did you do to Mothership?
Commentator's curse.
Oh, no.
Even if their weapon has gone down, though, they have been so decisive in that last minute.
45 seconds. Mothership has to dig its way through, possibly on a low battery. Yeah, look how slow. Oh, no.
I don't think that's battery smoke out of Ukfunt. I think that is their weapon is still on.
Yeah.
I think that they're smoking out their weapon motor. If they can hear me, maybe they'd like to turn it off. No, Mothership looks fully functional.
It looks like the battery on Mothership is going down. They've got to make it 17 seconds here.
They're surviving. You only have to survive 3 minutes.
That's right. Smoke pouring out of the back of Ukfunt.
One thing I will say, Mothership's drive was extremely smooth in that fight.
Do they still have weapon? Ooh, just a little bit of weapon twitching out of Mothership.
Even if this
Full
goes
drive, but
even if this goes to the judges and it's a matter of weapon damage, just look at the aggression that they displayed in minute 1 to 2.
Yep.
Like they just
absolutely
totally in control.
Yeah, the battery's the only thing that's wrong with Mothership.
Ukfunt might have some complicated repairs to make in case they smoked out their weapon motor, in case the drum itself became unseated. There's a lot of things to look at. They're going to have to staple on new wheel guards probably, that back guard that wraps around. It's a classic design fixture on beetle weights, on 3 pounds.
That you just staple stuff on?
I meant like the beater, like the rubbery sort of long guard.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is also like...
Stapler back together.
Because
no problem.
Because the robots are more accessible because it's easier to make more configurations. There are definitely situations where it's like, oh, I'll staple on this type of armor.
Staples they're lightweight, affordable, commonly found.
Definitely thinking of how lightweight things are. For the folks at home, part of these weight classes means that you have to manage your robot's weights. It's really cool. You might have an amazing design with a huge weapon, and then you realize, well, I have to put in weight for the battery, the motors, the armor, the wheels. All that adds up. You have to manage all that.
It's a lot of math.
It's a lot of math.
I'm not so good with that.
No, I was an English major.
Yeah. Just throw everything on a scale.
But Jake.
Yeah, that looks about right.
But Jake. I think we're loading into the big cage for the first big cage fight of the day.
We got a big cage fight. This is Spartan 30?
No, this is Synthesis 30 versus Phenomenon.
Synthesis 30, they just got back from New Zealand. There was a team of guys from the U.S. who went down there to compete against Australia, New Zealand, and a couple other countries, I think.
Yeah, Brazil went to that tournament,
yeah, Brazil. Yeah, right. They did a great job, killer job. Corey Nason was one of them with Synthesis 30. Synthesis 30 proved out to be the strongest robot in that conglomerate.
In the American contingency.
Yes, yeah, right. The best we have to send is certainly Synthesis 30 is in there.
It's like we had to go on a little Avengers mission. We had to figure out which hero
Right.
we had to figure out which heroes we could spare to go over to New
Right.
Zealand to defend our honor.
Corey looks like he could be an Avenger. He could be
His bot certainly could.
Captain something. I don't know.
He's had some superhero theming on his robots before. I don't think I see it on this copy of Synthesis 30, but he's definitely a comics fan.
And then we have my podcast co-host, the main host of Behind the Bots, Brandon Bennett Young. I had a chat with him earlier today. He's pretty happy about the condition of this is Phenomenon, but it's new. So it's
a new phenomenon.
It's new nomenon. Right.
Phenomenu.
From Phenomenon.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
But this is a big test. Wow, super mobile.
That's a fork-off phenomenon already.
Phenomenon. This is exactly where Brandon wants to keep Corey, which is destabilized and in the corner.
He was head over heels tumbling for a full 3 seconds there.
Brandon is trying to keep Corey in these corners, out of control. Corey is trying to outreach Brandon.
He's going to have an easier job now that Brandon has no forks.
There's a piece of material on the other underside of Synthesis that is picking it up, and Corey does not have drive on one side because of it. I think the motor might still be working.
Good eye for picking that up. I think that's exactly the case. The motor's spinning, but functionally he has only one drive side, and there are some huge impacts.
Unfortunately, it looks like Brandon has lost weapon, but only half weapon. Phenomenon does have a lifter, but it looks like those lifter forks are gone. Brandon is all over Corey at this point.
This is a bad spot. Might have punched too hard, but he's done such a good job controlling Synthesis within this first minute. He might be able to do the same in the next two.
Oh, no!
Oh!
Brandon!
That's a pretty funny thing you're doing there, my guy.
Phenomenon has to get off of its face. Oh, it's lined up for the shot. Oh, Synthesis just dug its blade into the bottom of Phenomenon. Brandon was fighting a great fight, but now he is on the back foot. That blade on Synthesis is sunk deep into Phenomenon.
That's deep. That's some real entanglement.
Oh,
We are pausing that fight.
That's gore. That's gore of New Monon. It looks like that drive motor still works.
He started this fight really, really strong, but once you lose your weapon, it becomes a totally different battle.
Brandon. They're calling in the crowbar.
Everyone's favorites.
We got two stuck robots.
This is a nerve-wracking situation for both drivers here, because
Yep.
all you're thinking about is as soon as we get unstuck, what is going to happen and what is going to be the state of both of these robots.
Could be that Synthesis 30's weapon is down. We don't
be that
really
it's-
know.
Could be that it's perfectly fine, too.
That's scary for Brandon, good for Corey.
There's battery to manage, too. This is a extra minute or so that your robot
Yep.
is live that you maybe didn't plan for. I said in a previous fight, you only have to survive 3 seconds. 3 minutes. That's not the full story. You might have to have enough battery to last. Of course, your weapon isn't spinning and you're not driving, but your robot is on during these moments. You have to be prepared for pretty much anything in this sport.
Cage staff are coming in here. That weapon is stuck hard.
It has a blade with an impacting tooth, and when that tooth gets enough bite, it gets stuck in things occasionally.
But look at the damage on the back of Synthesis. I think there's supposed to be 4 screws there. And I'm not so good with the counting, but I count 2. Which is half as many as there's supposed to be.
You have a great eye for damage, my friend.
You know, it's blood in the water, you know? Shark smells blood.
That's that competitor instinct.
It's the instinct.
All right. Synthesis 30, thumbs up. You're ready to resume? Awesome. We are going to resume this match in 3, 2, 1. Fight, robots, fight.
Ooh, synthesis.
Tap
That is going to be
out.
a tap out for Brandon Bennett Young. Unstuck, but still on his face, not wanting to take another shot from Synthesis 30.
Looks like synthesis weapon might have been down though. Like you said, like it might have been
Yeah.
that it died during the entanglement
Yeah.
or from it.
Well, you stall it out,
Yeah.
and then that's no good for it. All that energy, it's like dry shooting a bow and arrow. You never shoot a bow and arrow without an arrow in there.
Yeah.
It's like dry fire. I don't know. I went to Boy Scout camp.
I did not. I went to karate camp.
Oh, paint
we-
the fence.
We weren't shooting bows and arrows, but I am proficient with the bow staff.
Is that a what is that?
Like the classic very long stick with nothing on it.
Like
a,
kind of
a
a
staff.
Darth Maul thing.
It's just a staff. There's
Okay,
nothing on the end
okay.
of either. But
Okay.
yes.
Is a stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Bow staff.
We had 6 bow staves in our house. Like we had weapons.
Julian must have been an interesting older brother.
I'm pretty sure I never got one on him in bow staff training.
That tracks. That makes sense.
I was the littlest sibling and the
Right.
girliest. Like,
Right. Brandon, looking for parts. That's too bad. He's got 2 robots up there. It's just a matter of
When you say 2 robots, you mean 2 copies
two
of
copies. Two copies.
multiple
of
copies of
Phenomenon.
Phenomenon prepared for this tournament.
Two new nominons.
2 new nominons. Don't tongue twist yourself if you don't have to.
Wow. That's a big word for Elmo.
A lot of debris from that fight to sweep out. A lot of sawdust and shards off those kick plates. Out of the arena, I mean.
Yep.
The kick plates are now UHNW, weren't they?
Oh, it's over. My extended drama with the kick plates here. I've been unleashed. I've been unshackled.
So you were a proponent of making
Yeah.
the kick plates no longer wood.
Yeah. The problem with wood is the blade when a horizontal blade goes into it, the fibers pinch instead of ablate away, and the UHMW just does a better job of ablating away. I had a lot of fun at Pro League because I was able to be more aggressive in corners, be more aggressive around the wall. Now I've come back to this event, and there's another upgrade as well, which is they put this 45-degree chamfer on the corner. I think that's going to be a little bit of a nerf to control bots who benefit from robots getting stuck up on the rail. We saw a couple times in that fight where Synthesis might have gotten stuck on a corner, but didn't get stuck and was able to get back down. Maybe that swung the fight a little bit in favor of Synthesis. Phenomenon hoping to get control points.
Yeah, these changes to the arena, they can affect different robots in different ways.
The same way a golf course gets changed to help with pace of play is the same way that the cage will affect the pace of play in these fights here.
Briefly, while we load in another fight in the big cage one, something about the little angle that you talked about, that chamfer, that 45 degree.
Yeah.
There is a sport called karate combat that has they eschew like the MMA cage, and they have angled matted walls they're 45 degree angles, so they're like walls and
Interesting.
floors. So like you don't pin somebody up against the cage, you like pin them up against the ramp.
Yeah.
It makes for some really interesting. It's like you said, it's a nerf to control.
Right,
And
right.
it keeps the action on their feet.
Right.
But now in the big cage, we are loading in Anxiety with 2 eyes versus B-Force, a staple of the 12-pound division, wouldn't you say? Or no, this is a 30-pound fight. This is a 30-pound fight.
Yeah. 30-pound fight. But so we've got 2 robots here. This is a multi-bot each one of these segments weighs 18 pounds.
They get a weight bonus.
They get a weight bonus for being a multi.
Yeah, for those.
Is it 18 pounds?
Regardless, each segment is smaller than the overall anxiety. So, anxiety's game plan here is to separate the two halves of B-Force and make sure they can't pin them down or gang up on them and do some cooperative combo gameplay. B-Force's game plan is exactly that. Gang up on them, don't let them breathe, suffocate them. Use the movement advantage that they can be in two places at once to get around them and hit vulnerable parts.
You've got two robots. You want to tag team. You want to go hit. Part of dealing with a spinner is after you hit somebody, that spinner is at 0 RPM and it needs to get back up to speed. You got two spinners. You don't need to have that time. Cody Graham's whipping out the drill right now, though. That's not a good sign.
Is this? Yep. This is a repair window situation.
This is a repair window situation. They are pulling apart. So this is B-Force. One is named Beef. The other is named Horse.
Yeah.
Beef Horse.
Yeah.
Beef Horse.
Is this official confirmation?
This is lore. Yeah.
This isn't
is
something
lore.
you made up in the booth.
No. This is lore.
Got it.
Beef. So they're pulling apart.
You think
Maybe
that one's
it's beef.
You think that one's beef?
If one is gonna have a problem, it's gonna be beef.
The competitors are afforded a little bit of cage time repairs if you get down to the fight and your guy's not turning on. We do give you a little bit of the window in the rules to figure out what that is, but not too much time. You can't overhaul the robot, but you might be able to check the battery, check a connection, and then put the top plate back on real quick.
Looks like they powered cycled the robot. They're packing stuff back in there. They got 2 minutes on this clock, and Cody's put in the top plate back in, which usually means you're confident with what you've done.
Yeah, he's not taking the full 2 minutes.
No. So it must have been something small, something not turning on, a switch or something else. These competitors have so much experience, especially from Team Honeycracked. We got 2 B robots on in the box.
We have 2 B robots in the box.
B robots. We got 3 total.
And we have even more upstairs in the hive sometimes.
Well, because Georgia Tech is the Robo Jackets.
Yeah.
Sting 'em.
And
That's their thing. Sting 'em.
And then we have other B robots that aren't even part of the Honeycracked or Robo Jackets team. Like we have Mark Young's Sting operation. We just have a lot of B fans in the sport. It's a pretty wholesome insect.
So these robots weigh 20 pounds each. So it's a 10-pound weight bonus. So
That's
30 pounds plus 10 pounds.
Yeah, it's 1/3.
Yeah. So 220s.
But
Yeah, that makes sense.
but that's the thing. Each segment of this multibot, each half, being smaller than the overall anxiety, means that these weapons are smaller with less impact, and they may lose weapon-to-weapon engagements, but we may not even get to see them fight together.
Yeah, that robot that Cody was working on is not moving. Oh, maybe a little bit of
Percussive maintenance.
A little bit of
Just
try to jumpstart something in there.
slap the top of the TV, see if we get better reception.
Yeah, it's no problem.
Do you think it could be a receiver thing?
I don't know. And here's the other thing. They got 2 robots.
Yeah.
This fight is not over. It could be that one half of this robot carries them to a victory. They're definitely in a position where they could do that.
But you're fighting a 20-pound robot versus a 30-pound robot.
And you don't have the benefit of that tag team effect.
You don't have a teammate.
You don't have a teammate.
Flying solo.
Yeah, this is a bad position for Team Honeycrack. They're definitely thinking about making some hard decisions here.
Anything can happen, though. I think that face of the camera means, wing it, let's go. Whatever happens, happens.
Team Robo
Yeah, I
Jackets.
see you.
Sting
I
'em.
see you. Nice one.
Sting him.
We haven't even said anything about these hats.
Wow. You think those are
Can I get one?
The trucker hats. They found the camera. What up, GT? I was just down in Georgia. My brother's a UGA grad, so
Congratulations.
as of 2 weeks ago.
Congratulations
So,
to him.
the rivals. It's kind of a rival situation with the Georgia Tech squad. It's kind of a tech school versus an English school situation, you know?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Yeah.
One thing that's funny is like we don't have a lot of team rivalries in this sport. We might have like single driver rivalries, but like it's not that they're few and far between. It's just that that hasn't happened yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It will absolutely happen.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for the Team Defective versus Team Pandemonium like 5v5 brawl. And I don't mean robots. I mean up in the pits.
Person. Yeah.
We are figuring out, and I believe if we need to take the unmoving the dead copy of Beef Horse, either it's beef or it's horse, we might have to take it out because you are not allowed to enter the cage with a non-functional weapon, and that is technically what is happening here.
I think I'd fight.
If
I was them.
If you were in the situation and you have a dead copy.
Oh, all right. You came all this way.
So here's the thing. I think the answer changes if you're this early versus if you're later in the day. If you're this early, I take that copy out so it doesn't take collateral damage and make me have to do repairs later.
Right. That makes sense.
But if it's later in the day, that is like a strategic body blocker or like a dummy that I'm using.
Yeah, like an arena has.
I'm like throwing it into you for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so they've taken the dead copy out now. They are going to run this fight. Team Honey Cracked, never say die. 20-pounder versus a 30-pounder, one of the biggest undercutters in the 30-pound weight class. This is a David versus Goliath fight. We're going to see how Stack does driving this robot, beef or horse. I think this one's horse.
It's nice to have an underdog to root for, you know? And this is the guaranteed underdog.
And you still have a second robot, but it's just cheering outside the cage.
Cheerleading like from a hospital bed because
Yeah,
Five,
right.
4, 3.
This is a big
2,
fight now.
1.
Fight, robots,
All right, Boogie
fight.
Boogie. Ooh, those forks doing work. Anxiety getting under. That's an interesting sticker on the bottom.
Sorry to laugh, but all of that never say die, never give up. Took a hit, got on its head, decided,
And then tapped out. Wow.
Oh, hey. Oh, hey, Jake.
That's an interesting sticker. That's a cool sticker.
For those that aren't fluent in the language of metalcore, that says maximizer.
It does say maximizer. Well, of course, that's the copy that worked. You know, of course. Had a little good luck charm there.
There's a lot of different visual designs here at NHRL. I think Anxiety's like classic flames on the side. It feels a little Y2K, like when the sport started emerging as a whole.
Yeah.
Those classic like we're just gonna put flames on our bot because it looks cool.
Yeah. You know, things that look better work better. This is true.
It's a
And
confidence.
Flames,
It's a confidence thing too.
They add speed.
I drive best in the cage when I'm wearing my best fit.
That's true.
That's true.
It's true.
That's truth. That's truth nuke.
Truth nuke. That is an unfortunate loss. Maybe if they had that second robot, they could have capitalized a bit better. But you know,
this is
you're down 10 pounds.
This is
at that point.
For them, this is totally like we shake that off onto the next one. Like we don't worry about that, but we just worry about how to fix the issue and just worry about our next fight.
Yep, absolutely. They probably pulled out of that box thinking, we'll give it our best shot. Didn't like how that fight was ending up and pulled out tactical retreat.
You ever had a situation like that where you had to tactically retreat?
No.
Not you.
I'm too stupid to play that smart.
Sometimes playing stupid works though. There's situations where you could be losing a fight for 2 minutes and the opponent robot just shuts off.
It's so easy. Being stupid's really easy.
We are loading back in the big cage.
Oh,
We
this
have-
is a bot I'm excited for.
Which one? These are 2 robots I'm really excited for.
This is Kill Switch versus Red Storm. Red Storm is the control bot.
It's-
It is the control bot.
It's the control bot, and I am a control bot player at heart, at least
Yeah.
a little bit. My first robot was a lifter. Red Storm, you are one of my idols. I am so happy to be seeing Red Storm fight today.
It is the control bot. It has this terrifying aesthetic to it where it's just like kind of like already falling apart, but like is like so reliable that it's like, how do you even kill it?
So lifters aren't scary, but you know what is scary is grabbers.
Grabbers.
This is a
Yeah.
suplexer robot.
Yeah.
It's not just trying to lift you and flip you.
Yeah.
It's trying to grab you and suplex you.
Its weapon is speed, and it's going up against Kill Switch, which is a shuffler from IUIC.
Kill Switch though. Kill Switch has a classic drum on the front, and because it is a shuffler, you see those legs on either side with cleats. It weighs 45 pounds. That's a 15-pound weight advantage.
Yep. We just saw how big a 10-pound weight advantage was. A 15-pound is significant. That red side, though, not moving.
It was for a second. Despite the weight advantage, this is a rematch from last year. So like,
Is it?
An exact year turnaround. They fought last June, and Red Storm won by JD. Judge's decision.
Interesting. Look at the build on Red Storm. It's so mechanical and like
Yeah, you see
Yeah.
the metal on it looks like how it's made, like specialized factory machine almost.
Yeah. Kevin Melcheski uses speed as his weapon. He is going to cross this box faster than you can blink. Keep
5,
your eyes
4,
peeled for
3,
Red Storm.
2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Oh, a little bit more cautious than I would have expected.
It's scary if Kill Switch rides on Red Storm's ground game. It might eat the grabber on top.
But yeah, this is Kevin's strategy. Just bury your opponent. His goal is to get that weapon down as quickly as possible, and it looks like he's done it here in the first 20 seconds.
Impressive. Here's the suplex.
Oh, 45 pounds, no problem for Red Storm.
No trouble for Red Storm.
No trouble. Kevin's been hitting his reps. That robot is strong.
Progressively overloaded weight training, and Red Storm can lift anything in this arena. Kill Switch, even without a weapon.
Boom! Over again.
Kill Switch, even with no weapon, still has an opportunity to try to use its weight to maybe mangle or deform the grabber on Red Storm, but that's easier said than done because driver of Red Storm is extremely good. One more.
Ah, got him. You got to get a good leverage on it. If he doesn't have the right angle on it, it's going to tump forward. So you see that's what's going on right now. Again, 45 pounds is super heavy, even for a 35-pound robot. Look at the sawdust being left on the floor. That is the cleat design on Red Storm. We have wood floors here at NHRL.
Kill Switch has cleats too, not to interrupt.
Oh, yeah, it does. It does. It has cleats on the shuffler. Good eye, Nima. This wood floor is soft enough that a sharp titanium point can dig in and give you a lot of traction and purchase. Kevin is trying to get Kill Switch stuck. He's done it. Kill Switch is on the rail. It is drowning. This is the win condition for Red Storm. And now I think I know what's about to happen next. He's about to go for the house spot. If they call for that unstick, he'll go for it. But Kill Switch didn't even need to do it. They have a new house spot design. I don't think this is the new one. This looks to be the old one.
This is Flow.
This is Flow.
The new house spot, which we may see later today, is Philip.
I see.
This was my first time seeing a house spot get, born, christened.
Yeah,
It was a really beautiful moment.
Interesting. It's brought by a stork. Can you imagine the wings on that stork to lift a 200-pound baby like that? Wow.
Kevin Milcheski making it look a little easy. He knows his judo well, and he will throw you around if you let him.
Kevin is such a controlled driver. He knows his game. He knows his game plan. When he gets into the box, you are fighting uphill. The grabber on the top of Red Storm is designed to shred belts, grab people, and show them what's up. Nice fight, Kevin.
So, nice little fun fact about Killswitch. On their discussing their bot, they write that their weapon system is designed to be especially robust so that they can break opponent vertical spinners without breaking their own weapon. That means they're especially teched for a certain matchup that's really common, vertical spinners.
Yep.
But
Yep.
maybe they weren't as prepared for Red Storm, which is really hard. How do you prepare for a grabber?
Yeah.
There's kind of only one in the division.
Yeah.
Red Storm is the scary grabber.
It is the control bot.
Yeah.
It is the control bot. When I think of a control bot and I close my eyes and I imagine.
You're counting sheep at night, trying to
I'm
think.
counting control robot archetypes at night. You know how that happens.
Yeah.
You do that.
I'm getting
Vertical spinner.
I'm getting
high
some-
reach vertical spinner. Drum. I'm kicking. Horizontal. Overhead.
undercutter,
Undercutter.
melty,
Drain. Drill. Sorry.
drain gang. Now, judging by the aesthetic that you've built with Maximizer, you're a
Yeah.
fan. You're a fan of metal. You're a fan of some hard music.
Yeah. I like some hard music. I've been listening to, Bob Marley today.
You're not. This is a reggae event.
It's the reggae event. Yeah.
It's hot out.
It's hot out. It's summertime.
Beach weather's starting.
Yeah.
I got my start at my first NHRL was themed a Hot Bot Summer.
Hot bot summer.
That was years ago now.
2023. The time goes by so fast.
It really does.
We were just wee lads,
Not me.
Yeah, let's see, 2023. I was 13, you were 15.
Stop.
Like that.
People will believe you. My 30th birthday's in 2 months.
Coming up.
Yeah.
Pisces.
No, Leo.
Oh, okay.
Nice guess.
I just said a word.
Yeah, you just said one of them.
Yep.
This might one
close
in,
enough.
1 in 12 chance of being right on this
Hey.
multiple choice. We're staying in the big cage.
Coming in here, this is the big name for this event in the 30-pound weight class. Kaza Ines, Josh Reinhardt coming off.
This
a
is the
win.
robot to beat for sure.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Kaza Light just won NHRL Pro Tour.
Made it look easy.
Yeah, it really did. It's a brick of steel and a flamethrower to boot, and it lives up to its reputation. It comes in, it wins, does it.
For all the nerds out there, as Arthas's father once said, no king rules forever, so today might be the day that Joshua Reinhardt is dethroned.
Yeah.
But who is he up against? He's up against 1 week wonder, and crucially all lowercase to make it seem even less threatening.
Yeah. 1 week wonder. Looking to turn Kaza Ines into an Ozymandias.
This is a university club at UB Robotics out of Elma, New York, part of their builder sheet.
What is going on? What is that?
That is a good question.
It's got a tail.
Why is your tail up?
It's just happy to see you.
Big receiver. We're playing bumper cars today.
Look at that. This is new. This is new from Kaza Ines.
I usually have a pretty good idea of why a driver will run a particular a configuration. I don't really know what the deal is with this one.
And it's got a cleat on there.
Is this a fifth wheel for like self-righting? What is going on? Show me. Joshua, show me what the deal is in these next 3 minutes. Patrick Amo driving 1 week wonder. He writes, a horizontal spinner in the big 2.6 could not have said it better myself.
This match is going to begin on my mark.
Let's see if the big 2-6 is the year of the horizontal.
3, 2, 1.
We've waited in the shadows too
Robots
long.
fight.
Listen to that impact. Horizontal on wedge, and now you're
Oh
on fire.
no, 1 week wonder stuck doing the thing, stuck on its back, no flat sides, 1 week wonder. The back is flat.
They wanted to see how other builders design their robots. You're learning a fast lesson, my friend. Might be on fire internally. I see some smoke, and the wheels are starting to slow down. It looks like that is fire damage.
All right, so now we're left to wonder what the purpose.
There's, ooh.
Some smoke from 1 week wonder, but Kaza Eins is doing flips.
I think
we figured out the purpose. Oh, very clever.
Here's what it's for.
Very clever.
He gets you up on the wall with that big wide wedge, and then he uses his tail to pop you up or him up.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. We'll see if that comes into play in Kaza Eins' later fights.
I have a feeling it will. More and more of these robots in the bigger weight classes are slapping lifters on their robot, and we have Lil Lash here today, which is a dual action. It's got
a lifter on it.
Vertical spinner and a lifter. You get to see some really cool maneuvers when that happens. When you have a weapon and a lifter, two separate weapon assemblies, you get to do tricks.
You know, it's funny. They made some rule changes earlier this year, and a lot of people thought that they might, disadvantage control bots, disadvantage lifters. The Vasquez's showed up. You know what they said? There were rule changes? They had no idea.
The Vasquez's showed up, and they reminded us that lifters can KO you just as easily as any other weapon if you know what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Get stuck on your head?
Absolutely.
Okay, unstick. Housebot, please help me. Get stuck on your head again. You don't get a second unstick.
Right.
We have more 30-pound, 12-pound, and 3-pound action for you coming your way. We are still in prelims, but these fights are to dictate who gets into bracket and who's going to make it to our KO show and into prime time.
These early fights can be consequential if you want them to be. They put you on a certain trajectory, and I know we have seeding and stuff like that in numbers, but
there's an intangible momentum.
There's a vibe check
Yeah.
that occurs between two robots. That look, we're checking out the temperature. Is it hot? Might be a little hot.
1 week wonder in their builder sheet. Essentially, they're in the name and in their builder sheet. They're claiming like we're a university club. We're a little inexperienced. We're getting experience today. What better time than to get vibe checked round one by one of the top seeds, world champion?
Yeah. Horizontal vibe check, big 2-6.
We are just. I'm well versed in brain rot.
Yeah.
I learned lingo real fast.
There's all sorts of brain rot robots now. We got 6-7 bot.
We have
Roblox.
Clip It is fighting later on in the 12-pound.
It's like
we have Beater Griffin in 12-pound as well.
Beater Griffin. Everybody knows Beater Griffin.
There was a Chris Griffin in 3-pound, I believe. Which is like not even the main character in the family.
All right, looks a little bit too hot for comfort. Going out in the firebox.
Safety first. We are putting you in sand, brother. Get in the sand. Get in the sand, Crystal. It's only gonna be a few minutes. It's gonna feel like eternity. It's just gonna be a few minutes. We're gonna put you in the sand.
Robots like playing in the sand. It's good for everything. It's good for bearings. Good for electronics. Robots love.
We love silica.
Silica is basically.
We're putting you in the beach that keeps you safe. We're putting you putting you in the beach box. It's summer.
There's a shovel and a sand bucket.
Yeah,
castle in there.
We have sand shovels.
Castle.
We have sand shovels by the cage that we used to scoop out. We used to scoop out wood dust.
I wonder if Ricky would let me play in the sand one day. Build a little castle in there. Castle maximizer.
For like a split second, your robot is on fire and you're dumping in the sand bucket, and for like a second, you see like delicately constructed sand castles here.
Right.
But we're out of the bowl and we're going to cage 4 for more action. A 12-pound fight for you.
This is FTP, and oh no, I'm sorry. This is Ruin Force and Psycho Smacky.
Smacky.
Psycho Smacky.
By Aiden
5,
Burkholder.
4, 3.
Got a chance to talk to
2,
Aiden last night.
1.
This robot has fought before. It fought at
Robots
Motorama,
fight.
and now he's brought it to NHRL. Ruin Force from Dylan McCarthy. So I believe this is a rematch. Both of them fought at Motorama. Looks like we don't have weapon motion out of Ruin Force. That's no good. That is no good, Ruin Force.
Here we go,
Off
though.
the rail, trying to
looks
get
like-
that weapon up to speed.
I saw it spinning. I saw the whole gear spinning. I think it's just a matter of being stuck on geometry.
Yeah.
I think the weapon is functional.
We'll see if he can get away from the wall and get up to speed. That big horizontal blade takes a second. But Psycho Smacky, looks like that frame is flexing a little bit, getting stuck in the middle.
Oh! Chunks coming off. He got the
Blade.
one-piece appetizer. Let's see if he get a two-piece.
Blade slowly getting back up to speed on Ruin Force.
It's hard to walk your weapon into Ruin Force because the diameter of the weapon covers the front and back.
Ruin Force is all gears. Geared weapon.
Very.
Geared
all,
drive.
All gears.
All gears. No belts.
All gas, no brakes, more like. Psycho Smacky having a hard time with damage drive on that side. Taking control of this fight.
Ruin Force now up to speed for sure now.
Yep.
Boogity booty. Get in there. Yeah! That's another big hit for Ruin Force.
That's
a tap out.
That was enough
Ruin
damage.
Force wins.
Yeah, that was enough damage to decide I'm out.
Yeah. Back to cage 1.
Right back in it. Adamant
Wow.
Barrage versus Clip It.
You know, when we were in the car and we were reading through bot names, Clip It.
5,
Treaded
4,
vertical spinner.
3, 2.
It's got big treads
1.
on it.
Fight.
We don't see a lot of
Robots
treads, but they're so
fight.
cool.
They are so cool. And only one side is working right now. This is William Marchese's time. He's just got to take out the other drive side, showing excellent patience here as Clip It is stuck up on the rail.
He has so much time to pick his shots.
He's got some time here. Oh, Clip It stuck again. He's got to be super careful.
Sort of fell right onto Adamant Barrage's weapon there.
Yeah. Clip It is gyroing hard.
I think there's something stuck in that left tread. It's moving, but only
Yeah.
slightly.
William Marchese lining up a shot if he needs to take it.
Tap out.
That's the tap out. Adamant Barrage. When Adamant Barrage first started, it had some problems with reliability. William has turned the record of the robot around. It is now able to take some pretty decent shots and truck on through it. Looking great today.
And just with the way the weapon is designed, it feeds you into that big blade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot like fighting a big wheel, but it's a little bit more mobile and a little bit, it
has
hits like a big wheel.
ground game.
Yeah, it's got ground game too. That's the other thing. Because a big wheel, you don't have to worry about, forks and wedges and things. But yeah, Adamant's got forks.
Psycho Smacky has been, the driver Aiden Burkholder has apparently been evolving this robot since high school. Massive kudos for sticking with this particular robot, this particular design. Excited to see it keep competing. I hope we see it later again today. I hope you can make some repairs on there. Did you know that Adamant Barrage is a reference?
I know. I don't.
It's an
get
anime. It's
outside
an anime
much.
reference.
Oh, okay.
It's Inuyasha.
Inuyasha.
Yeah.
Is that
It's old school.
okay?
Yeah. Not one of the newfangled brain rot animes. That
Yeah.
was something they used to have on Cartoon Network.
Got it.
Yeah.
I don't get out much. I don't really get references.
Me neither.
Unless it's a reference to more robot combat.
One track mind.
Yeah, right.
They used to show, like, I would wake up at like 5 in the morning as a kid, and they would be showing like old school anime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a Ben 10 kid.
Oh,
I don't know. Is that an anime? Does that count?
American anime.
American anime.
That era of like Teen Titans, Ben 10, Avatar,
Yeah.
Last Airbender.
Yeah.
Solid era
Yeah.
for cartoons.
Bakugan.
I was never
You're
in
never
Bakugan.
Bakugan
I love
kid.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay. We would have been friends.
Oh yeah.
We would have talked.
We would have been playing.
You know, there's big rivalry between Yu-Gi-Oh kids and Bakugan kids at most places, but
I would have.
I think we would have crossed that divide.
I had like a knockoff Beyblade, one of those ones that's like
Right.
way stronger. I was a Bionicle kid, and I know
Okay.
there's a lot of people at home and a few people in the sport that also are that way.
Yeah.
It's interesting because it was like that was like my action figure, but it was something I built.
Mask of Light.
Mask of Light, bro.
Right.
Mask of Light all day, every day.
Right.
Mask of Light, Mask of Life.
I used to beg my dad to rent that movie when there used to be these things called DVDs. Okay, let's just start there. And then you could rent them from a movie rental. You had to go somewhere else.
You had to go to a secondary location
location.
to get your media.
Yeah, and then you took it home in your hands.
Real quick before we load up in the big cage, Bionicles are how I got my engineering start at like 5 years old because they used to have gearboxes. They used to have gears. You used to spin a gear and it would like move its arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And then I would learn like gear ratios and like tooth ratios and stuff like
Right.
that. Yeah. That was my start for the love of engineering. But anyway, we are still in the 12 pounds here. We have another multibot. Who do we have here? I believe this is Remy versus Dumb and Dumber. This is a multibot from Max Renus, who we saw last month at Pro Tour, fighting with both Power On and Makabot, which are pretty much a similar style of robot, really similar design, scaled up from 3 to 30. But he's going with something totally different for the 12-pound robot. Yeah, wave to the camera, buddy. He's got a multibot with a different kind of vertical spinner. This is not a drum. This is more of a blade or a disc. He's going up against Remy from Sam Ubala. Remy has fought one event before, but for Dumb and Dumber, this is its first ever event and its first ever fight. We are crowning a new robot.
There are so many new robots up there, Dima.
Oh yeah, this is a great summer's a great time for new robots.
Yeah, I was talking to one of the event organizers, and they mentioned that out of 135 registered robots, 80 were either new or hadn't fought since last year.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Just imagine 80 robots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Cage 1. We are going to begin this fight on my mark in
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Here we go. Let's see if Max Renus and his co-op teammate
So
can
you
take
got
control of
two
this fight.
8-pound robots.
Oh, belt off Remy. That's bad.
That is a bad position to be in. That 1-2 action.
That's a plate
That's
off
the
too.
top plate.
Guts exposed.
They're going in hard, calling for the unstick, but unstick what?
I think this is maybe they press the unstick button instead of the tap out button and then instantly press the tap
And
out button.
that mistake is known to happen.
Great first fight for Dumb and Dumber. Max Renus keeping the momentum up from Pro Tour. Sam's going to have some repairs to make on Remy.
We got a great shot of the construction style on this robot.
Yeah, if you're interested on the internals, here's a great look.
There's a couple ways to build a robot. This I like to call this the rail method, and that's where you build a series of rails and then you kind of like assemble it into a box. Oh, we got a lipo on fire. That's no good. That is a 6S 1300.
they were
battery.
getting everything out of the cage fast.
Pulling
They're
everything out of that cage.
gonna let that burn out. Fun little fact: Remy's driver Sam Ubala founded the Harvard Undergraduate Robotics Club. Really nice shot of a battery fire. If you ever wanted to see the cells catching flame, they catch flame one by one almost, and then they burn out all of the lithium in each cell one by one. So when you saw that moment where it was peeling a little bit, that was like one cell burning out, another cell is going to start burning out. They chain together. Nice, beautiful little shot. Post-destruction, this is the carnage. This is what we show you. We show you the strewn guts across the arena post-combat.
Yeah.
Get the fire extinguisher right up there.
Boom. One blast.
Two blasts.
Two
and
blasts.
we're going to stick it in the sand bucket where it will not burn any longer. Put them on the beach that makes you safe.
Why is sand used, Dima?
I don't have a good idea of the science behind it, but from
Yeah.
what I understand, it just sort of suffocates the fire itself. It just can't burn.
It's fun to play in.
That's why we use it. Yeah, it's summer and it's fun to play in.
It's you can build little castles in the sandbox. You can.
Is that all
do
you
other
can think
things.
about what to do with sand?
You can dig holes. There's only so many things to do with sand, Dima. There's only.
It's coarse. It gets everywhere.
You know what they say. It's coarse and it gets everywhere.
So the sand contains fire. It is also very good at absorbing the heat.
Okay.
So
That makes sense.
Yeah. So when it smothers the flames, it physically contains everything in there, and it absorbs and it spreads out the heat, and it itself is not flammable. So the sand can't catch fire. Yeah.
Right. And it's also not very, it's not going to damage anything. If you put it in water, now your robot is totally fried. Sand, you just blow out with compressed air.
Yeah.
And then you're good.
But the sand doesn't, other than its physical properties, it doesn't cool the robot, and it doesn't do anything to stop the thermal runway of the battery. So the battery still just burns out. It has to. There's not an easy way we can feasibly stop that on a dime when it happens. So the sand is for it, and the fire extinguisher. Good combo.
It's a perfect. But most importantly, you can play in it.
Very important.
You can build little castles and dig holes.
You clearly are like castle-minded when it comes to sand.
Castle maximizer.
Castle maximizer.
Castle maximizer in the sand bucket.
And then Liam King's gonna run over and kick it. Jake is fuming right next to me.
Yeah. This is Hot Dog from MIT.
The classic MIT jerseys.
They're so recognizable. It's a good look. And Beater Griffin, I caught them doing something.
You caught them.
Machining this beater by hand, like Friday night.
So yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah. By Friday night, I mean yesterday. Yeah.
Just to be clear for anybody who might be watching this as a video later, the beater was apparently being machined the day before.
Yeah. As you know, machining incredibly difficult.
No, yeah, it's
Precise.
really darn hard.
Really, really hard, precise art form, and they're doing it the day before an event. That takes a level of confidence,
That's some heart right there.
some pride, and they've wrapped the thing in aluminum tape, so it's very nice and shiny.
While we get this ready, beater looks cool. We don't usually see the sort of dual
dual
spinning.
beater.
Yeah,
So they had to machine two.
they had the machine too. And I believe they have 2 controllers, so they have 1 person on weapon, 1 person on drive.
You know what they say?
No.
2 is more than 1.
And 3's company.
3 is a party,
What's 4?
a show.
I'm trying to get you to 6 and 7. We can't count that high though. It's all that machining's paying off. It spins.
It spins, and you know what they say? If I'm spinning, I'm winning. A beater machine last night. Let's see how it does against MIT and Hot Dog.
Hot Dog is sort of a scaled down Kazaa Light. They have a
Terrifying.
multi-bot flamethrower.
It's terrifying.
They saw it work on the 30 pound. They said, let's see if we can get it to work in 12 pound. It looks very similar to Kazaa Light with some design changes reflected by the change in heat. Are those mechanism wheels?
They are mechanism wheels. And let me tell you, when I was looking through their pits, looking at how these mechanism wheels get assembled is shocking.
Can you
They're trying to get the fire started right now.
Here
okay,
we
whoa,
go.
there we go. Okay, now we've got fire.
Proving
you
to
have
the
to
rest,
show that you have weapon when you get to the box. Now, this is a multi-bot, so it doesn't, but yes, so this is Hot Dog.
Real quick, can you explain what mechanism wheels are? Because they're
Yes.
very cool.
Mechanism wheels are able to traverse in a variety of directions, okay? It can go straight, it can go to the side, it can turn, it can strafe. And the MIT folks are thinking that mechanism wheels are going to be the perfect matchup for this archetype because it's going to allow you to
Drive from any angle.
from the side and kind of strafe while flaming, okay?
I know a thing or two about that.
All right, we've got...
Happy Pride Month, by the way.
We've got the steward here, Rob, looks to be discussing.
Cage manager discussion really quick. 1/2 of the flame is not working.
1/2 of the flame.
That's why they were nose to nose trying to ignite each other. I think.
Right, I see. So they do have to independently ignite. That's cool. I like that. So they're pulling.
Yeah, I think they're gonna pull their last chance. Can we ignite this flame? I'm not sure.
We've seen this happen twice with multi-bots these days. Today. It's tough to get tough to get one robot working.
Sorry to interrupt you. I didn't see that until now.
You look like someone who could do a pretty good Peter. I'm not gonna ask you to do it. I'll ask you later. Can you do a Peter impression?
Ask Lars Elliott later. His
Really?
it's not a Peter impression. It's a Lois impression. But hearing him say Peter.
Got it.
I can't do it. I can't do it like him.
Got it.
Yeah,
they pulled half of Hot Dog.
They did pull half.
That's
of Hot
cool.
Dog.
I like
We're gonna fight with
robots
the other.
with weapons, and so we've got half of Hot Dog in the pink corner. That one does have weapons, so that's going to be allowed to start the fight. It looks like they're going to try to repair at cage side here, and we are seeing MIT take advantage of their repair
time
window to try to get flame on this robot. It looks like they button it back up, trying to get weapon back in there. Don't forget all the screws. That's always a pain. You forget all,
I've been yelled at.
It happens.
I've been yelled at for not having every screw on my top plate, even when we won. Even when we won.
Yelled at by Julian?
Yeah, by my
that tracks.
By my older brother.
Right. Interesting.
I'm making him sound meaner than he is. He discussed it sternly with me. He didn't raise his voice.
Right. All right.
He made it clear.
This robot has weapon.
Yeah, cage doors are closed. We're gonna see if it's working, and if it's not, we're gonna have to fight. You're gonna have to fight with half your robot. It's not an auto lose from there, but things do get much harder.
Yeah, we saw this happen with B-Force earlier, and they were at immediate disadvantage. Hot Dog coming in here weighing 8 and 8 for a total of 16 pounds, but an 8-pound robot versus a 12-pound robot. Again, that's a 30% differential there that could swing this fight. Looks like they are pulling out 1/2 of Hot Dog. The other one with flame.
When you are ready, hit that green button.
Now, I think this could go better. You know, we saw B-Force kind of get mogged earlier, but this could go better for Hot Dog because
5,
Hot Dog is
four,
kind of a more control
3,
bot. You know, it's not going
2,
for those big kinetic
1.
hits. So
Fight.
weight-
Robots fight.
I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but it's not as critical. And look at that strafing action on the Mechanism wheels.
Mechanism
Hot Dog
wheels.
staying face toward its opponent. Not much fire. You see that kind of fine mist coming out. That is butane.
Yeah, they're trying to ignite, but
They are attempting to ignite.
the distance on the igniter might not be where they want it. This is its first event.
Beater Griffin being aggressive.
The wheels on Beater Griffin are really far forward, and it makes it kind of turn on a dime when it tries to go straight. It's not necessarily bad, but it certainly is a challenge to drive.
Those orange wheels are the grippiest ones. I'm familiar with the brand. Those are the grippiest ones you can get, and subsequently, they're also the bounciest. So Beater Griffin's got a little bounce to it. It's moving throughout the box.
Yeah, he's got some motion.
Yeah, a little motion. That's a little.
It's also funny to see the Mechanism wheels in action because you see him strafing, and then you'll see him also turn normally as if he was using normal wheels.
Right.
Mechanism wheels, I assume,
You
take a
can do
lot
both.
of getting used to.
Yeah, you can do both. I saw the assembly for the Mechanism wheels on the pit table. It's quite the piece of engineering.
Yeah.
Because each Mechanism wheel has its own, like, 10 independent wheels, and each of those has its own cleat.
The dual beaters on Beater Griffin are kind of,
And then you have two robots.
and then you have two robots. That's
So
eight
you
wheels.
have so you have like 80 little cleats, minimum. And usually when I'm packing for events, I pack, I'm planning on winning most of the time. So pack 6
There's
wheels.
fire.
Oh, we're back on fire.
Crowd loving it. Of course they
Hot
do.
Dog, this is their opportunity to turn this fight. They've been on the back foot.
They have a minute.
Or-
They have a minute to do it. Is their flame hot enough to KO? If they can't, might be in Beater Griffin's favor
Yeah.
for the judges.
Yep. Peter Griffin looks to be down a left drive side.
Looks like they were doing a good job earlier of chewing the front wedge on Hot Dog.
Yep,
Oh, now that grippy wheel you mentioned is stuck on a fork.
it is. Somebody's
They
requesting
called for
unstick.
unstick. I don't necessarily think they had to. That might be an experience thing. It's up to Hot Dog to release that pin.
Yeah.
Is this a KO count for Hot Dog? Did they run out of steam? Metaphorically, but potentially literally? All right, so we started with half of the robot not working. We ended with the other half not working. MIT, we know for a fact, are very competent engineers, so they have some things to fix upstairs.
Taking that half back over to the flame testing area, get that flamethrower working. They'll be back in it.
Massive kudos to the tenacity of Beater Griffin. That is a fighter right there.
Absolutely. Machining those beaters, it's no joke.
It's not easy. I couldn't do that.
Lois, it's no joke.
Low. But that is all for me for right now. I will be back later. This is Dima Papazian signing off. We
Dima.
have another commentator in the booth joining you, Jake.
It's been real.
It's been real.
It's been real.
I'll see you later, man.
I'm excited for that. Glad to be sharing the box with play-by-play booth with royalty.
What's up,
Speaking
buddy?
of Kyle, good to see you. How are
Good
you?
to see you, man.
The last time I saw you, you were headed up to the pits to go check stuff out. What do you think?
I think it's a weird event. We've got a lot of people that haven't been here for a long time. We've got a lot of new constructions, new designs.
Yep.
A lot of people trying out some stuff. It's kind of cool. Little developmental event, kind of.
Developmental. That's a good word for it. Developmental.
Plus, there's cookies up in the pits, and that was a little tempting, but they're pretty yummy.
Oof.
Yeah, they were from Cookie Crumbler, the oysters. I love the oyster family.
Wait, what flavor?
So they have chocolate chip and almond, and then they have ginger snappies, like little guys.
Oh,
like,
wow.
Yeah, they're
they're
quite good. They're quite good.
Making me-
Not complaining.
Making me hungry, Kyle.
Yeah.
Can't do that. You know who's hungry? Glenn Boxel. Talk about hunger.
Not really in the 12s though. He's pretty set in the 12s. He's doing okay. He's qualified for world championships.
I think he's looking for a dumpster in the 12s. He's got his dumpster in the 3s. Why else would he be here? Other than to tear robots apart and dumpster.
He likes the slow disassembly of his opponents.
He does. He really finds a pace that's good for him, and he goes after you. Andrew Davis on the other side of the box here with FTP.
Love this robot.
Yeah, I got a chance to talk to him earlier today. He's like, I don't have a wedge for this robot. So often with archetypes, you have different configurations that you go with to kind of tilt the odds in your favor. I like to think that most of these fights are, more like a 50-50. Maybe 55-45, but, in that 50-50 area. And what you're hoping to do is kind of tilt it in your direction one way by configuring smartly and really thinking about your fight before you get in there. And one of the ways that vert drivers do that is with a wedge. And Andrew Davis doesn't have one of those.
Mm-mm.
So he's just going to full send this.
Weapon into weapon.
Weapon into weapon. One of the biggest horizontals in the 12-pound weight class.
How do you prepare for a Glenn Boxel?
Big wedge.
Big wedge.
Big wedge.
That's what you do against them horizontal spinners.
Yeah. So
5,
Drew Davis has
4,
instead gone with these
3,
long forks.
2,
He thinks these long
1.
forks will reach
Fight,
underneath
robots, fight.
Glenn's blade.
Maybe. No. Nice hit there from Glenn Boxel. Looks like he's got a little bit of a drive side issue after that impact, though.
And look at those forks. They're up in the air. Drew Davis is back to square one and just throwing himself into Glenn Boxel.
All there is to do right now. Just try to full send that weapon. Hope that you're spinning fast enough that you catch him before he catches you.
You can kind of figure out who's winning the exchanges by if the robot goes into the air versus to the side. You've got a vertical spinner on one side of the box here, an FTP, and a horizontal in the other.
We got some belt stripping out on the left side there.
Front is mangled.
Doesn't look good.
FTP still has weapon, but the drive is struggling.
Well, yeah, it's got belts hanging out. Looks like a
little bit of smoke there, Kyle.
Looks like it's working really hard against itself.
It looked pretty hopeful there in the beginning. Drew Davis getting one of the drive side downs on Caldera 12. Horizontals need a lot of speed to get good bite.
Yeah.
Any robot needs good speed to get good bite.
But especially if you've got a
especially,
big, long weapon.
Yeah. It's really beneficial. So, it's harder. You hear Glenn is throttling his weapon back down. Oh, now he's got both sides of drive.
Yeah, I wonder what that was about. But yeah, he was definitely crab walking there.
Yeah, and a minute and a half on the clock. Caldera is now fully mobile.
Yeah,
and Drew
fair.
Davis says, nope, no thanks.
Oh no,
No
the
thanks.
late hit. Ooh. We're all friends back up in the pits,
Unintentional.
but that was an unintentional late hit. That's always
Unintentional
unfortunate to
late hit.
see.
Glenn was so excited to have both sides of drive again.
I get it.
It happens. It happens.
But he might be buying some TPU up in the pits after that. We'll see how that goes.
And look at that, the slow disassembly that you were talking about. Look how much carnage is in that box, Kyle.
I love it.
Glenn loves it. Look at
There's
that.
very few giant hits when you see Glenn in the arena, but there's all these little tiny devastating hits that by the end of the fight you look at him and you're like, oh, that guy is messed up.
I was watching a fight. Ricky came in the door. He said, "What happened in there?" I'm like, "Glenn happened."
Glenn happened.
Glenn happened.
Drew Davis brought a bunch of students with him to this event.
He told me he had 8 robots.
That's amazing. That's so much work. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
He's so good for the community up there, though. He's got all these kids learning how to build robots and fight with them. It's pretty cool.
And he's calm about it too.
Yeah.
That's what's scary.
Yeah.
Tell me you have 8 robots here and you're cool as a cucumber.
Just ready to hang out. Just ready.
It's paradoxical. Doesn't make sense.
It is always a family affair when Drew's in the box. You see his sons come out with him every time. Usually call the fights with him. It's pretty interesting to watch. They're both very good drivers in their own right. Coming up here pretty quickly, we're going to have a Dream Bots fight. Such an interesting concept.
Kyle, what is the Dream Bots fight?
So we've got a bunch of local schools that essentially threw in their best designs for fighting robots. And we chose some of the best ones and built them. And then I believe students from those schools are driving the robots in this competition. So we have Sparky and Flamethrower coming up pretty quickly. We're really excited to see this. It's like the new kind of concept we're developing to get more and more kids into STEM, into fighting robots. Lawn Thrower. That's fun. Lawn Thrower and Sparky. Fun. So yeah, we're checking that out. We're seeing how these dream designs work out.
Into the cage. Look at those robots. Look how cute they are.
This is pretty amazing. Big old eyeballs on that guy. A little narwhal looking design. I kind of love it. Yeah, so Sparky's a narwhal-inspired design. And then Lawn Thrower is a flame-throwing lawnmower with eyes.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I like that. And it's got like a snout to it, too.
I kind of appreciate that.
Pig snout.
So that's what the eyes are on up there. It's like the handle where you push the lawnmower.
Ah, I see. I see.
Yeah.
Revving it up.
Yeah, it looks like that's exactly what it looks like he's doing. He's going to rev that thing up.
What is that? The cable that you have to... Wait.
The pull starter.
The pull starter. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It's a pull start lawnmower.
Pull start.
He's got a little spinner on the back. Look at that.
It's in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Pull start's in there somewhere.
So that's the gas canister, I guess, up at the top for the flame thing. And then you got the spinner in the back. That's a cool little design. And I guess the lawnmower handle just keeps it from flipping over. Or maybe it'll make it do the thing more. Not really sure.
These kiddos drew these robots, and then NHRL built them.
I kind of
How
love
cool
the
is that?
concept. I kind of love the
It's so
concept.
cool.
And then you
So
get to come
cool.
here and drive it.
So cool.
What a great first experience with robotics, right?
Right.
The team here did a great job with these robots. They look fantastic. I hope we get to look at some of
Look how
the
cute that
inspiration
narwhal
art
is.
from the kids. Yeah, it's so cute. Oh, look at the tail comes up. So cute.
Aww. Look at it.
I like the weapon delivery system. The narwhal is going to be trying to pick the nose of the lawnmower.
And these are new drivers.
Oh,
so,
yeah, of
so
course.
getting
They're
to the
still figuring
corner,
it out.
getting to the corner is, we'll get there.
Yeah,
We're gonna take our time.
This is not quite like, driving in a video game. There we go.
Head on over.
Figuring it out. Nice. And look at the little blade on the tail.
It's with a flower.
Aw, come
You
on.
And it flops.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Now these kids have an opportunity to just tear each other apart for 3 minutes. Oh!
There we go. The flamethrower is functioning.
Lawn thrower. Wow!
There we go.
There's a big fire out of lawn
That's
thrower.
legit.
Yeah!
Heck yeah. Spiky getting that side impact there, coming after the wheels.
I like that strategy. I like the way this robot's moving. Oh no!
That's
Spiky, get out
just
of
too
there.
much fire. Look out. Spiky skirting along the wall, trying to get away.
The nose on Spiky is a lifter. Look at that.
So smart. A lifter with a saw blade on the back. Oh no. The little beater bar on the back of Lawn Thrower. Pretty effective there, grinding away. Now coming in with the flamethrower, getting underneath. Spiky, Spiky, run away, bud. Nice hit there from the Lawn Thrower, grinding away at the bottom plate. The chin, if you will, on Spiky. Ooh, missed an opportunity for a flame there. There we go. Revving it up and pinning them against the wall. Nicely done.
Spiky's an aquatic creature. It doesn't do well with fire. Likes to be in water.
Different avatar archetypes here.
Right, right.
Look at how the nose
waterbender.
is starting to
now
bend from the
nose.
heat.
The nose is bent. Oh, the
These-
spike.
The spike, yeah, it's all
spike.
these pieces are 3D printed, so if you apply heat back to them, they tend to lose their shape.
Back over. Still in it. Spiky's still in this. Serving that blade up.
Yeah, drive's still working. They're able to do circles.
Yeah. It's better than a lot of 30s.
Nice hit there. Can Spiky self-right with all this articulation? I'm not sure. 27 seconds left in the matchup. And Lawn Thrower is just dominating right now.
This is all lawn throwers fight. Spiky upside down.
Nice.
Oh, no.
Just really brighten up the box. Lingering flame on the aquatic creature.
That is a cooked whale.
That
I
is-
don't know if there's a name for cooked whale.
Illegal in most states in the Union.
Oh, is that okay? It's not like where a cow becomes steak. What does a narwhal become? It's just
Narwhals, they feel like they should be mythical creatures. Somehow they're not.
they're magic. They got a little bit of magic to them.
They do.
though.
They have to have
Anything
a
with a
little bit.
horn's got to be like.
A giant, beautiful, twisty
Yeah.
horn. Yeah. It's a little strange.
It's got to be a little bit magical. A lawnmower though.
The lawnmower is highly effective. Lawn Thrower
Yes.
is actually a pretty decent design
Yes.
for a fighting robot, and I love this now.
It's got to.
Yeah, great robot, double weapon system, both weapons used to great effect. Pretty smart.
Got two weapons. It's 2 ways to win. There you go.
If you like the concept of building your own fighting robot, we do have an opportunity with the Havoc Academy. We teach you all of the aspects of building and driving a fighting robot. You get classes that have been put together by Sam and the team here. Just teaching you the basics, even teaching you how to solder. Just the things you need to do to get it into the box. And at the end of it, you do have a functioning robot that you can play with at home. It's safe to play with at home. and you know the basics, you can even take those parts from that robot and put it into something more competitive, more dangerous.
Such a good entry point.
Very cool. Thank you so much to the team here.
Unloading those robots, showing them off. That's your dream. That's your dream bot. What a great way to get these kids in the box.
Yeah. And see what works, you know what I mean? It's so interesting to see it go from the page you colored to the box and see what actually works the best. We've got more 3-pound action coming your way here pretty soon. A lot of returning teams that we haven't seen in a good long time in this weight class today.
Got a little bit more fire coming in here.
This is two of my favorite bots that I saw up in the pits. This is Toby Roan and Unicorn Sparkle.
Toby Roan, that's a play. I didn't get it at first.
Oh yeah, Toblerone.
Okay.
The bougie candy bar with honey in it.
Not in my income bracket.
No, yeah, I get it. I get it. It was not in mine for a very long time either. But it does have crispy bottoms. It's very tasty.
Okay.
And it breaks off into these little like triangle shapes.
Got it. And so that's why it's got this unique triangle shape.
This is a bougie chocolate design.
Right. You know, chocolate and heat.
I agree. Yeah, it is an all metal body on this.
Okay.
So that's going to help already. The wheels, however, they're very flexible.
Okay. Are they? They're made of not chocolate.
No, not chocolate.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they're made of GPU. Still squishy.
Got it. Okay.
And then you see the kind of alternating wheel configuration. This is on Unicorn Sparkle. This is a double flamethrower robot. No forks, no mess, just a lot of fire and a googly eye. And you can see on one side we have these two kind of pink grippy wheels in the front. On the other one, the purple grippy wheels are actually on alternate sides. Oh, weird. Like, why would you do that?
Getting the flamethrowers going on both of these. You got a flame out of the purple one. You got a flame out of the pink one.
Hey, that's really on-demand flame, really well put together. I love the colors.
I don't think I've seen this robot before.
No, but it's fun.
It is fun.
5, 4, 3.
Really effective
2,
flamethrowers came right on at demand.
Fight, robots, fight.
Ooh, pretty speedy too. Look at that. The Toblerone, of course, is a big ol' undercutter.
That blade's a little bit hard to see, but it's slung underneath, in between the two wheels. That's going to give them a really big danger zone on both the front and the back of the robot, where they can try to make contact with their opponent.
Ooh, that weapon slowed down pretty hard after that.
Sparkle. A little pizzazz. Getting the pin here.
Oh, yeah. That's going to cook your internals.
That is a big fire. Toby Roan desperately calling for the unstick. That house bot getting in the way, but now they are out of unsticks.
And it looks like that weapon is not well balanced. It's either grinding against the floor or just shaking the entire body of the robot when it spins up. So something's going on with it.
Unicorn Sparkle, their strategy is to get these big pins and then dump butane on their opponent. Yeah, that blade is contacting the floor and destabilizing.
And that's like not good for the internals of the robot. You're shaking up all the pieces inside. You're also really stressing out that weapon motor.
Especially because it's made out of chocolate. That's going to be, that's going to have a hard time with the structure.
I'm really enjoying this ability to get these nice long pins even without the forks. Just grippy wheels and some decent driving. There we go.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Look at how that wheel is starting to deform. Yeah, that's not good. That wheel's melting apart as it moves.
The more that wheel melts, the more that blade hits the ground, the slower it's going to spin.
I feel like a pit in my stomach every time you see a good flamethrower pin and burn, just because it's like there is nothing you can do. You're just losing structural integrity, you're losing cohesion, you're losing soldering points.
And it's psychological too, because 10 seconds is 10 seconds for us, but
Right.
10 seconds during a fight, it feels like an eternity.
Right, and
So-
you're just watching something you've worked so hard on melt apart in that
Yeah.
10-second period. Oh yeah, that's gross.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not gonna roll. No way. Look at the weapon
Stuck on that
twitching.
blade.
Yeah, they're really in a bad place. Yeah, it's not moving because it's high centered on that wheel or on that weapon, and that weapon doesn't have enough torque to kind of move the body off of it. They're stuck in that corner. This is a nasty flamethrower knockout. Flamethrower knockouts always make you feel bad for the builder who has to fix the whatever gross goopy mess is inside the robot.
You can screw parts back together.
Sure.
You can duct tape stuff.
Bend stuff back into shape.
But unmelting something,
Not a thing.
that is a difficult order.
Great job by both teams, but yeah, the flamethrower got the best of this one, melting away at the drive system until there was just not enough left to keep the bot up and moving. Yeah, Unicorn Sparkle, cool machine.
Yeah, for a new robot, having fire that is that consistent and reliable is a feat. Can't wait to see more of them. It was on demand. You're right. On demand fire. That worked great.
Yeah, really well designed little machine. Cool.
And now joining us, Kyle, it's been a good time.
Yeah, man.
Thank
absolutely.
you. This has been great. Joining us is the Ricky.
Ricky Willems joining us on the stream. Excited to see some more robot fighting action. We've got a little bit more 3-pound action coming your way. We're going to have the Trundler taking on the Blue Exorcist.
Joining just after a robot firefight is exactly the wrong time, as far as I'm concerned.
It was a
But
really good one, too.
I'm tickled by the name of that robot. As someone who has family members that are just obsessed with Toblerones,
Yeah. It's a cute design.
I'm
He
going to have
did
a
great
lot
job.
of footage to share later.
Yeah. I am a big fan of some Toblerone.
Kyle, have you ever been in the play-by-play booth before today? I
sure.
don't think I've ever seen. We've never been in here at the same time.
We've never been in here at the same time, no. I was actually telling this to Gwen earlier, how it's weird that you and I are like reuniting for a part of the day today, because like we have not done this, because you're always so busy in the mornings. You're running around.
We were like a dynamic duo for a while.
We were the duo. We were calling all the fights for a long time, for a long, long time.
The world just pulled us apart, and the thing about magical places like NHRL is there's something in the air, and the universe brings us back together, and the things that have been parted are brought and reunited, and here we are to scream about robots.
I love it. All right, so we've got Max Morningstar. He's showing up here with a bot called Actual Size.
I really like this robot. I just also want to call out Max Morningstar is a comic book villain name.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, at least 100%, maybe 200%. But I love Actual Size. It's a wild-looking robot. It's taken the aesthetic of the big wheel to a new level, and yeah, it's going to do some damage. It always does. It also has a habit of getting funky fast.
Yeah. So it's got these like TPU wheels composited with a steel insert frame that he made the cleats out of. Smart
Very
design.
cool. Gives him a lot of grip. We'll see how it works for him.
And he's going up against Hubris, a reach vert.
Yeah, a little extra tall. It honestly, Actual Size has everything at the right level for Hubris to hit, and if Hubris is in fact hitting, look at these
cut and
runs.
chomp
It just
chop.
slides right under, tearing a cavernous route right through the underside of Actual Size. It's crazy.
Looks like Actual Size is really struggling with its left drive side. Nice hit there. That was beautiful.
Yeah, make no mistake, that's a powerful weapon, even though it's a funny-looking robot. Looks like Hubris slowed down a little. I don't know if they're just being careful.
Yeah, I think that one hit really reminded them that they're up against a deadly machine here, even though it's hobbled on one side.
It does look like both sides work a little, but one side is clearly a heck of a lot stronger than the other at this point.
Yeah.
I'm also, look at these hits over and over again at the top of Hubris. They are doing substantial damage. There's no kill shots yet. But it's adding up. You can see the pink bits littered around the arena.
Ooh, there's a little bit of an entanglement after that hit. That was gross.
Ooh, that was a good one right there, Kyle.
Wow, both these weapons really... Oh, no, there's a lot missing.
Have started to eject themselves from the robot. That's a battery there, Kyle.
Yeah, no tap out so far. Now we have a tap out. Tap out was just done on the side of the cage. You got to push the button 2 there, Max.
That is the end. Actual Size heading home with a loss. It still works, but once that battery's dangling there, it's right for the plucking.
Yeah, really scary matchup for a bot like Actual Size. You know, when you are a big-wheeled robot, you don't want to fight these reach verts that can hit you. Similarly, you don't want to fight a really good undercut or spinner.
Right. Anything that can either hit your core electronics encasement, you know, the yellow parts in this case, or something that can kind of sweep the legs, so to speak, on your big wheels. Those are kind of the two kryptonites, two big wheel robots. It's funny because so many of the big wheel robots were made specifically to attack compact vertical spinners.
Yeah.
But this reach vert has evolved as sort of the best resistance in a class that is nominally weak to big wheel robots.
And you do have this disparity where with the reach vert, you can armor your critical components a little bit better than you can on a big wheel. So if you're kind of exchanging hits or jousting as they were in that matchup.
Look at that. We missed it.
The burn?
Well, not just the burn. There's a component often used in robots called a shoulder bolt.
Mm-hmm.
And for those that might not know what a shoulder bolt is, picture a regular bolt, but like halfway through the threads of the bolt, you know, the ridges going up the bolt, those ridges stop and it gets fatter and smooth. And that's the shoulder of the shoulder bolt. And one of the neat things to see is when they break, they almost always break right where that shoulder starts.
Yeah.
And sitting on the floor of Arena 2 was just the shoulder and up, the decapitated remains of a shoulder bolt off of Actual Size. And it's just one of those little mechanical engineering oddities that they always break. Not oddities, we understand why, but something you might not otherwise expect that it's fun to point out, at least for me as an engineering nerd.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always fun to watch really fancy hardware fail. Look at this arena already all jacked up. We're barely into the beginning of the day here.
It is a tremendous difference between the wooden kick plate look and the UHMW kick plates that have recently been upgraded. Even though we got a ton of sawdust in the arena, it's a heck of a lot less than we used to be.
Yeah, that's for sure. And we're just getting a lot less robots stuck in those sidewalls as well.
Yeah, that's a huge improvement, no doubt.
You've noticed the driving's a little less cautious, too, around those edges?
I got to love that. The full violence, go hog wild, balls to the wall sort of approach.
It's the way to be. Much more fun.
Well, no shortage of fun coming up. I think we're loading up another 3-pound fight right now. And then we will be going back to the 30-pound bracket. I'm not actually very familiar with either of the 3-pound robots that I'm told we have coming up. Lightly Toasted and Sky Finally. Do you know about these robots?
Not at all. No, we have so many either returning builders with new machines or just new builders at this event.
is really nice to see a lot of what I'm calling old favorites getting back into the fray. We had such a packed first 6 months of this year, and I spoke too soon about that 3-pound fight. Looks like we are moving right into the 30s.
30 land. Yeah, check this out. This is one that I was looking forward to all day. It is a Team USA fight. Both of these guys competed in New Zealand earlier this year in a world competition representing the United States. Synthesis 30, Spartan 30, Corey Nason, Johnny Sumpas.
I like to talk about Synthesis 30 as what I consider one of the most professional robots in the 30-pound class, possibly in the world. It's just a level of preparation, attention to detail that is world class. And then I like to talk about Spartan 30 as a robot that is fully realized.
Yeah.
We have so many robots in the 30-pound class where they're clearly still evolving. They're still a work in progress. Synthesis 30, you look at, Spartan 30, you look at it, and it just seems like they've thought of everything. They've done everything. It's what they wanted it to be. Now they just have to drive it. Well, and I love that about the robot.
These are designs that both of these builders have iterated across multiple weight classes, multiple versions.
That is a huge factor here, for sure. This is some interesting behavior. Synthesis 30 not driving real well right out of the gate.
Yeah, that's not a good sign, especially going up against a very dialed-in Corey Nason and Synthesis 30.
All right, Spartan 30, ready? All right, cage 1 on my mark.
That's our official's voice that you hear in the background, getting this fight started.
2, 1.
Fight.
Away we go. This should be an energetic fight. Spartan 30 coming out. Wow, that was a major hit. That is brutal.
And
the
Johnny
drive
coming
side,
in for more.
The drive side on the left hand of Synthesis 30 now struggling a little bit. Now one of the
And
wheels is
missing
gone
pieces,
entirely. A belt has been torn off. Wow, this is an incredible beatdown that Spartan is laying onto Synthesis as Synthesis lays face first
The
in the
unstick has
arena
been called for.
Wow.
I'm not sure our housebot will be able to get them moving again. One side of drive is functioning.
Spartan not wasting any time, getting in there again for another hit, sending Synthesis end over end. You can hear that chattering. That's the front wedge impacting the blade on Synthesis 30. It won't be able to keep that up for long before smoking its weapon motor.
It's a lot of resistance on that machine.
I think a bearing has also shredded itself on the weapon blade of Synthesis 30. That's why it has so much movement to hit its own plow. Yep, there it is. Oh,
Beautiful shot there from Johnny. Came around on the side, waited for a big back shot, and took it. Came back in for more hits. There's no more unsticks for Synthesis. And yeah, that's the smart move, Corey Nason. Tap out. You don't need any more of that smoke. I got to tell you, that's quite an upset as far as I'm concerned.
Not just an upset, but a brutal one at that.
What a beatdown. Those early impacts really went Spartan's way and changed the entire trajectory of the possibility of this fight.
We see robots like Synthesis show up, and they kind of run the table a lot of the time. Part of that is because they're so well prepared, and part of that is because there aren't that many foils. There aren't that many rocks to their scissors out there. And then you come along with a robot like Spartan, and it just eats Synthesis's lunch.
Just got the better of all of those impacts, and you've got to hand it to Johnny. He built a durable machine. I mean, it got launched several times, still held together, still functioned beautifully. Everything was still working at the end of that matchup, and that you cannot say the same about Synthesis.
No, there's some substantial work that Corey's going to need to do up in the pits. However, there are spares of this robot. He comes prepared.
He brings 3 usually.
Mm-hmm. But still, Spartans walking into this, they're going to charge their batteries, maybe buff out a few scratches, and they'll be good to go.
Yeah, that weapon blade held together beautifully. There's no bend in it. It looks great.
It's also wild to me. See this red kind of dome on Spartan 30 there?
The almost like bullseye in the top there?
Right, right. So that's the top of the weapon motor.
Just
for
out
that
there.
robot. It's just out there.
Yep.
And that's not heavy duty. You can even see it spin as he picks up the robot by the weapon that kind of back drives it, right? That's just aluminum, and not even like great aluminum. It's aluminum that comes with motors. It's not selected for its impact resistance.
Right,
right?
it's there to just hold everything in.
Like one good smack with a hammer, and that's having a bad time. It would explode with the right hit from synthesis.
Yeah.
And just to go into a fight like that, knowing I have to drive well enough that area just my one hit KO doesn't die. Ooh.
Look at this iPhone just hanging out. We almost lost this camera.
Yeah.
Look at that, it's still working though.
Well, some of it. Yeah, it looks like it had a
No,
bad
he's just
time.
putting it right back in. We're good to go.
We
Man,
should-
these things are durable.
It's stunning. We should have shoe sponsorships, don't you think?
Oh, good idea.
Oh, it's an interesting angle. I just want to point out to folks, left and right here, you can see that kind of like gap between the black and the black. The
Yeah, the
bumper.
side rail and the actual wall.
That's part of the ventilation system. So
Fascinating.
that's where the air gets sucked in from the bottom of the arena, so that the smoke can be pulled up and out through the roof.
That is really cool.
So I don't want people looking at that and saying, "Oh, there's a gap there. That looks like something's missing." No, that's very intentional. It's 3/4 of an inch the whole way around. You need that because you can't suck air out of an enclosure
No
unless
way.
you put more air into it.
That's really cool. I love the new kick plates. You were talking about them earlier. They're all, what, UHMW?
So they are a steel tube with UHMW cladding.
Nice.
So the idea is 95% of robots are just going to bounce off them, maybe put a little gouge in the plastic. It takes out a chunk of plastic rather than you getting stuck between the fibers of wood, right?
Yeah.
But then, say you got a heavy hitter. They're going to come in here, have a big old hit. They're going to cut all the way through the plastic, and then they're going to hit the steel on the back, and that's going to stop them there, but they're not going to go into the steel. They're still not going to get stuck in that.
Right. Their motors are not going to be happy, but they'll still be able to move afterwards.
Right, and then that plastic outer casing dampens the sound, so you're not losing your hearing. It dampens the impact, so your robot doesn't have a sudden hit against a, 20,000-pound steel arena. Instead, it has a gentle hit against some plastic and then a slow hit against some metal.
And you just have to replace the plastic kind of after there's been a bunch of damage, right? You're very rarely going to have to replace that piece of steel.
Exactly. Or even just sand it down a little. So my favorite little nerdy note for the kick plates is that they're intentionally recycled UHMW rather than fresh, what they call virgin UHMW. And the reason for that is that recycled UHMW comes out in little chunks. So it breaks cleanly. Whereas the fresh stuff has these slices that get very messy, and it's a little higher chance you get stuck in them. And so the recycled is not only cheaper and more environmentally friendly and everything else.
But it's actually better for the application.
Right.
That's awesome.
And it's funny because most builders will tell you, do not use recycled UHMW.
Right, for your robot.
Right, for your robot, it's usually a terrible idea. Some places, it's still the right move, but most of the time, it's not. And you wouldn't think the difference between two products, like if you went into the store and just bought some, a lot of times it's not even marked.
Right. If you got a cutting board at the store, it might be recycled, it might not.
Right. I think cutting boards usually are not recycled just from the contamination aspect.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, other than that,
look at these two robots we've got loaded in here. We got Little Lash and Overlord. We very rarely see Little Lash, but every time they come to this competition, they do very, very well. This is a team from California, the Vasquez brothers. And then this is Overlord. You see Overlord all the time here. They are a hometown team, if you will, at the National Havoc Robot League.
absolutely dedicated robot builders. Both sides.
5, 4, 3.
Really
2,
excited to see this
1.
matchup.
Fight, robots, fight.
All right, Jillian coming out strong with Overlord, looking for some purchase on that weapon and having a tough time.
Nice
Getting
flip.
Flipped, yeah.
Big long fork. So I will say Little Lash is a dual weapon system, a lifter and a spinner. They really do a lot of work with both aspects of the weapon.
Yeah, neither one is a token. There's a little bit of payback from Overlord here,
Yeah.
getting a couple small hits.
It's just a big weapon reach. Oh, nice. They got under him and hit the bottom plate with that lift and hit.
That's the move that Overlord wants to do. Use that extra width to get around to the side a little bit and shove one of those ramps, one of those forks under the side of Little Lash. Can Jillian do it again? I don't know.
Such a great job utilizing this lifter, even in the middle of the arena, to get a good pick and get control in the middle of the arena.
There it is again,
Nice
trying for that.
shot.
Yeah, that is exactly the shot that seems to be working for Overlord. And then from the back, that is a rare opportunity. You can see that did a sizable amount of damage into the aluminum panel on Little Lash. Now Little Lash is running a little slower.
Yeah, something's messed up there. Tried to get under him with the lifter, unsuccessful. Got weapon in the face for its trouble.
Those long forks on the front of Little Lash are a great counter to Overlord, but they only work when you drive head on. Anything from any kind of angle and it doesn't work. So the Vasquezes have to be perfect in their approach here. They have to be dead center. See this curve coming in from any kind of angle, and Little Lash loses the exchange.
Yeah, absolutely. Resets nice. Just comes straight in, not
Overlord
able to
stuck
get the
in the
forks
corner,
under.
starting to have drive issues, and then coming out strong. The gearboxes are starting to have a bad time on Overlord.
You can hear it.
Oh, it has gotten a little quieter in there, Kyle.
Yeah, there's a small weapon spinning. There
Big
we
weapon
go.
spinning. I just think they've dialed it down a bit. I don't know if that's by choice or by force. Oh, they
Nice.
cannot keep making this blunder.
Ooh, that's not a good place to be if you are Overlord. They are doing the thing. An
And-
unstick has been called for, and Little Lash is going underneath the house spot, trying to stop them.
This is a strong performance from the house bot. Little Lash unable to keep them from getting into the fray, but can the house bot turn Overlord over? This really remains to be seen. This is gonna be tough.
This is an attempted whiplash attack, spinning the weapon and then launching it backwards into the opponent.
4, 3.
Little Lash is going in there and attacking during the unstick, which you are allowed to do just as an insurance policy, but they didn't need it. They were able to take home the victory just based on that single disadvantageous placement of their opponent.
Excellent
Look
driving.
at
Look
that.
at that.
Look at that
Beautiful bottom
damage.
plate damage.
That is tremendous. You can see on the left hand of that back black rail, that is split almost entirely through in addition to those giant gouges in the aluminum plating.
Yeah, Jillian did the best she could, but Matt Vasquez really driving beautifully, using that lifter mechanism to his advantage.
That really captures it, Kyle. Not that Jillian drove in a poor manner, but Lil Lash was driven
Perfectly.
exceptionally well
Yeah.
there. And there were driving tactical mistakes, frankly, with Overlord, where they just ended up having over and over again that juicy underside attacked by the relatively modest spinner on Lil Lash. One hit they can take, 2 hits, 7 hits, I think. They were still running. By the end of that, we had 20-some hits.
Yeah.
Aluminum is not going to handle that abuse. It just isn't.
I got to say, the vertical on Little Lash came in very handy as well. That single tooth spinner, super effective.
So that is new for this event, I'm told, that single tooth, normally they run either a dual tooth or they run a less aggressive tooth. See the side profile here. That's sticking up by, oh man, close to 2 inches,
Yeah,
right?
that's quite a reach for this style of robot.
Right, for a small blade like that, you usually don't have that either, or it's not a very strong blade, right? It doesn't
Right.
spin up super fast, so they're trading the quick spin up for having a lot of piercing depth on that blade. Clearly working out for them, but
Yeah.
I would assume that is a blade they would swap out depending on the opponent and the armor and those sort of details for when it would be strategically useful.
In this case, you could tell they were really going for that lift and cut onto the bottom plate of the opponent, and that was very effective for that. That was a lot of weapon engagement, and you saw those deep gouges into the bottom plate. Beautifully done.
Yeah, truly. That is, I was frankly worried because I think we saw early in that match a way that Overlord could have attained victory regardless of how Little Lash was driven.
Yeah.
But it was a difficult road in terms of the driving skill needed to accomplish that, and it just didn't come together. But I did get nervous for Little Lash because the weakness was on display. And so for future fights in this tournament, I think other drivers would be smart to look at that fight, see what worked, see what didn't,
Yeah.
and incorporate that into their strategy.
What a cool machine. We've got more 30-pound action coming your way. We're going to have Red Storm going up against Anxiety in Cage 1.
Now, I think this is Red Storm's first fight of the day. Is that correct?
They
Kyle?
did get a bye. Or did they get a...
They got. I know they got a bye, so that's why I'm.
This
That's
has to-
why
I think this is
asked
still their
if
second fight.
They did. Okay, so this is their second fight and the bye. So it would be their third placing as they tried to get into
And they did
the
defeat
ranking.
Kill Switch earlier.
So they're coming off a win. Red Storm is one of these robots that comes in and just kind of laughs at the meta here.
Yeah. Its speed is its weapon.
So well driven, so sturdy, one of the most durable machines. What I really like about it is that it's a machine that never breaks in a binary fashion. What I
Yeah.
mean by that is it degrades over the course of the fight, but everything still works at the end, even if it looks absolutely pummeled. Like the weapon still kind of waggles and the drive still kind of goes, and it's this strong underdog, scrappy boxer energy
Yeah.
that I just really love to see in a fight.
And Kevin just full sends it the whole time. And then Anxiety, also a former dumpster winner. Both these bots are former dumpster winners. Anxiety is a long forked undercutter style spinner. Really powerful front plate on it usually. It's armored up very, very well. And this team is great at driving this machine.
I am being given an update. It sounds like both of these robots are actually 1-1. That bye that we mentioned earlier, that was for Lil Lash rather than Red Storm. Sorry, 1-0, yes, currently.
Which means that if you win this matchup, you are a guaranteed spot in the tournament.
Right. And
if you lose, you still have one more chance.
That's correct. I'm also really digging the kind of bloody tip on Anxiety. Like, that's a
Yeah,
gruesome
very
detail.
cool.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight.
There we
Robots
go.
fight.
We got a quick start and quick stop from Red Storm.
Yeah, and forks up. Interesting choice. Ooh, lowered the forks right into the weapon blade there in that instance. Not the best idea. That was a really nice impact onto their front plow. Red Storm's front plow.
Big sparks flying in these exchanges. Now we are having a little bit of drive difficulties on both of these robots. Anxiety seems, frankly, a little drunk, like they're just trying to get their bearings. Red Storm seems darty, and then it pauses. I think it's having grip issues on the arena floor.
I think so too. I mean, we saw right at the beginning of the fight, it was attempting to bust out of that corner, but then it kind of
look at this,
stopped
Kyle.
for some reason. Yeah, look
The
at that.
left hand, right hand, depending on how you look at it, fork from Anxiety's been ripped off. This is something we've seen from Anxiety before. And now the weapon is down on Anxiety. That is a major turn of the tide in this fight. But with Red Storm struggling to move now.
Yeah, this is now just a drunken boxing match at this point. Both bots really struggling with their motion.
This is almost entirely and now the weapon is back on Anxiety and stops again. That is an unhappy motor or motor controller. So when they have these big shocks and something goes wrong, the motor controller overheats, doesn't know what to do with itself, and it gets unhappy and it has a hard time starting again. So you might see it jump back to life, but they have to be very careful not to force it to do so, or the whole thing could catch fire.
So the back wheels are spinning still on Red Storm. Not like something seems to be torqued either on the front armor or maybe the frame that's keeping them from moving very well on those back wheels.
Yeah, and this is interesting. We got a pin going on from Anxiety, not the direction I expected that to go. We saw the wheels, you pointed out, the wheels on Red Storm were spinning fine when Red Storm was lifted slightly in the air.
Yeah,
so
something's holding them up.
Yeah, it doesn't have the power right now to just force those wheels to spin when it's making good ground contact. Meanwhile, the front wheels are spinning just effortlessly, so they're not making good ground contact
at all
to begin with.
Yeah, that whole frame's just kind of torqued. You can see the kind of floating armor. It's higher on the right side of the robot than it is on the left.
Red Storm is almost certainly going to be making this to the end of the fight, but by the absolute skin of its teeth.
Oh yeah, this will go to the judges. So we're going to go right into our prove it period where both bots have an opportunity to show that they are functioning, that they're able to move, that they're able to operate their weapon systems.
So this is the moment that Anxiety would really want to push that weapon. You can see them doing this spin. This is a clever move. Sometimes when a motor doesn't want to start, if you spin start, it's kind of like a push start in a car, it can start moving and your motor can carry it through from there. In this case, it didn't work. So we know at the end of this fight, Anxiety is going to be judged as though their weapon was disabled. That will matter in the score. But their drives certainly seem to be all right. And on the flip side, we had Red Storm. They were moving at the end of the fight, so they will be judged as if their drive is okay, even though after the buzzer they struggled to move. They will be judged, of course, as if their weapon or their drive has degraded. You know, they're not going to be given full credit for a working drive system, but they were moving. On the flip side, it looked like their weapon system was working great at the end of that.
Yeah.
So that is not going to count against them. It's all, in my opinion, going to come down to how they are judged in terms of attack. In other words, how well did they bring aggression and an intent to harm to their opponent over the course of the match. In my mind, that's Anxiety all day.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
We just had too many things go wrong for Red Storm in that fight for them to be able to consistently attack their opponent.
We always love it when Kevin comes by. He pulls off some really amazing matchups. He does have one more chance today to qualify if this judge's decision goes the way we think it's going to go. Anxiety is a cool machine.
Well, as you alluded to earlier, we are happy we're going to see both of these robots again.
Yeah,
Anxiety
no matter what happens.
just punched their ticket into the bracket, but I am excited to see one more shot for Red Storm to punch their own ticket.
May the paper, rock, scissors gods of fighting robots smile upon them.
It's one of those things. I think Kevin shows up to an event, sees the rock, paper, scissors things, and goes, you know, I bet I could put a rock through that paper.
Yeah, he does.
I think that's kind of his outlook on combat robotics as a whole, and I think there's something to be said about that spirit.
My favorite matchups for him is where the opponent is less of an issue than the house bot.
Yeah.
If you ever want to come out to the National Havoc Robot League, highly recommend coming in the afternoon. We've got snacks, we got drinks, we got hot dogs, we got a full STEM play area for the kids, skee ball.
There is also a lot of lore behind a certain hot dog vendor.
I love that hot dog vendor.
He's so good. I don't know how. It's weird. That's not a skill where you would think you'd see someone doing it and you're going, wow, he's really good at that.
Yeah, he's very good at making super delicious hot dogs from a seemingly normal-looking hot dog cart.
Yeah, I don't know what the secret sauce is, but it's there. Those hot dogs are just filled with secret sauce. I think that the entire experience that you get here at this point is really something. It's something special. And a lot of that comes from just the people that populate this building, both the competitors and the robot fans. It's a really wonderful sense of community and just celebration of tech and destruction and weirdness that comes together.
I think the daytime afternoons, the more family friendly, and then the evenings when it gets like, come have a drink and watch some destruction.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Speaking of weird community pillars, we've got a couple loading in here.
I know, I love these machines.
Kazaa Eins with a paint job finally. Wonderful to see that.
Yeah.
And its new expressive tail. Have you seen this in action yet, Kyle?
Not yet, no.
It's entertaining. I don't know yet how well it's going to work from a competitive standpoint. I've seen the intent. I've seen it do a couple of things that are entertaining and interesting. I haven't seen it come in clutch in a fight the way it's clearly intended to. So we'll see. They're going to be going up against Colossal Avian, probably one of the best suited robots to fight Kazaa.
Yeah, absolutely. Colossal Avian is an overhead attack style robot. Massive changes to this robot every single time they come. It is just a completely different machine. Still an overhead attack robot, but they're experimenting with hub style motors in the weapon now. The arm has been made more robust, and this is their specific flame armor. They bought this package just to fight Kazaa style flame robots. Look at the forks on there, and then you have that inverted wedge up front to kind of deflect heat down and away from your critical components.
Well, there's also this wonderful rubberized flame fabric, this orange kind of look in the middle that's wrapping around some of their mechanisms here, and I just love to see that. We have had so much experimentation with flexible armors, with flame armors. Everyone's just kind of figuring out for the first time. The gold tape you see all over it, that's a classic flame armor.
Yeah.
But this new kind of red stuff, that's new.
I love it. Such a smart idea.
1.
Fight.
Away we go. Both robots off to a fast start. Colossal Avian locking horns with Kazaa Eins. The flame fuel. There! Oh, that's amazing! I think the weapon on Colossal Avian ignited the flames on Kazaa Eins.
I think that is exactly what happened there.
Look at Colossal Avian flopping around. What a strange bird of prey it is.
Yeah, the little bit of that flame lingering on what looked like to be the side of the weapon there. Not a healthy situation. The forks on Kazaa Eins doing a little bit better job.
Really wild. The forks on Colossal Avian trying to get purchase under Kazaa and just not able to do it. Now they're leading with their spinner from behind.
That's a lot of fire on the inside mechanisms of Colossal Avian.
Oh, that is an excellent fork usage, but it just puts Colossal. Oh my God! What a good hit, but it's right on the strongest part of Kazaa Eins' armor. You can land hits like that all day on Kazaa Eins, and they're such a tank, they'll just take it. Both of these robots still in fighting form.
I think the forks on Colossal Avian are just a little bit too thick for their drive system to be able to get them underneath opponents.
That was a good hit right there, Kyle.
That was
landed.
Nice.
Anything on that top plate on Kazaa Eins is a money shot for Colossal Avian. Here, that's the moment. That's exactly what they want.
There was some drama with that shot. I loved it.
I saw some chunks of wheel come off in that shot, but now Colossal Avian is up against the wall and unable to get free.
Look at this, just slow burn. Lingering flames on the drive system on the right side of Colossal Avian.
They are still running, though. Getting to 2 minutes into a match against Kazaa and still having full function is pretty darn impressive. It's a bad place for the Big Bird.
5, 6.
Yeah, that right side just continuously getting cooked under Colossal Avian.
That is some roasty toasty, Kyle. But now the left-hand drive on Kazaa is starting to suffer. But now Colossal Avian is struggling to move on its left-hand side.
No surprise there. They've taken a lot of heat.
Oh, that was a strange hit.
Really was. It seemed like off the side plate.
What is this movement? It's a pseudopod trying to escape a larger invertebrate predator.
Oh my gosh, that was so weird.
Look at this.
Just desperately trying
This
to
is
pull
literally
itself
a worm
away.
trying to escape a big bird. Kyle, you gotta call the Colonel. That is one Kentucky Fried Chicken right there.
So this is our prove it period. Both robots trying to show what functionality they still have. Colossal Avian able to give us a little bit of a movement, a little bit of a shake and shimmy.
Yeah, both of these robots have drive that is suffering.
Barely keeping them in the game at this point. Joshua Reinhardt doesn't look super pleased with that performance.
No, that is one of the few times I've seen someone go toe-to-toe with Kazaa in almost just allowing Kazaa to do what they do and still saying, yeah, I don't know if that's enough. The winning robots that we've seen in the past against Kazaa have prevented Kazaa from doing Kazaa things.
Yeah.
In this fight, Kazaa did Kazaa things the entire time, and it still might not have worked.
No, it was just getting chopped into bit by bit. And once they really started going backwards with the weapon first, that was some pretty effective strategy for this Colossal Avian team.
What a wild outcome. I'm really curious to see what the judges' scores look like on that one because there's so much to take into account. And I know the judging rules inside and out, obviously, but I need a pen and paper to kind of go by. It's only going to be a couple of points of difference in one direction or another.
Tell me what you think about Kazaa's new tail. Did it come into play at all?
It certainly came into play a little more than I think I expected in this fight. I do want to remind folks, that tail is considered an accessory mechanism. It's not a weapon, right? So you don't get points for using that to attack an opponent. And you don't get points for that operating in a way that lets you drive better in any meaningful way. So you have to be very intentional. That's a lot of weight that they are putting into a robot for something that isn't drive and isn't a weapon.
Yeah.
It isn't armor. And that's a bold move. So to me, I look like, is this warranted? And it's weird because there's just this ineffable quality about that tail where it made a difference in that fight. It seemed like it helped them. I couldn't quite put my finger on how. One thing I did notice is they would pin and kind of use their front forks to get under, and then they would lift with the tail a little bit, and they kind of became this full-body lifter in certain circumstances.
Yeah.
And that let them barbecue the opponent a little bit better. Look at this. They're just checking to make sure that the robot is not too hot to handle. We do have thermal cameras and infrared thermometers for that purpose, but I am glad you're wearing gloves. That's also the right move here. Yeah, they're going to wait a moment. Clearly, it's below the temperature limit, but that doesn't mean it's comfortable to hold.
No way.
We have a limit on how cool these things have to be to handle, but that doesn't mean it's pleasant.
No, it cooks your hands a little bit. It's not fun. And that's the point of this front metal armor piece, to just kind of hold onto that heat so the rest of the robot doesn't really have to take it.
Well, Kyle, let's talk about that a second, because what I saw in this case is they have a moat of armor around their robot. And certainly that got hot, and the idea was that gives some insulation from the inside. But it sure looked like that moat just got filled with fire also.
Yeah, it really became like the focal point of the chimney, right? You're cooking everything through that.
Right. It was a really it only works as intended if that keeps the fire from getting past the outer rim of the moat, and instead it just kind of made a moat of fire.
Yeah.
And I don't think that played out
Concentrated the heat, if you will.
What's that Will Ferrell line? Did that go the way you expected?
Yeah. Constellation improves every single time, but it's just really hard to prepare for that much flame.
It is really interesting to me. Some of the builders that succeed in doing that are the builders that just happen to be around fire a lot in their lives for whatever reason. And there are dozens of us, Kyle. But it's weird. You just get a sixth sense for this. This is probably going to work or it probably won't work. And if you don't have that sixth sense, then you have to iterate so many times. Oh, these are some happy family folks. Notice in there on screen. Hi, Mom.
Families that watch robot eviscerations together stay together? I'd say that's accurate.
Well, they have to, because then they spend all their money on robots when they get hooked, and they have to huddle together for warmth because
they've spent all the heat money.
Heat money, yeah. That's the plus side and the minus side. And when you combine a plus side and a minus side together, you get 0-0, which is loaded into the blue corner of...
And Wormhole loaded over there into the pink corner. Wormhole has the most interesting wheels I've seen in the 3-pound division today.
They certainly have a look to them, don't they?
They've got a TPU hub, and then these are essentially like rubbered cleats that they cast coming out of the TPU hub. I think it's an interesting idea. They kind of dig into the floor and get their grip, but in a sticky way, not in a pokey way.
It is something we've seen experimented with in the past, but it's been a while because it's so difficult to make it durable enough to last through a match.
Yeah, for sure.
And so if they can crack the code on making them last, it's a fantastic approach because of how our arena gets chewed up over the course of a day. But if they can't, then it's going to be like going into a snowy night with bald tires.
Yeah.
You're just going to spin in place.
But you're right. If there's like texture in the arena floor, they can really kind of grip into it and pull themselves over it very easily with this style of tire. It's neat.
Yeah, one of the neat things with really knobby tires is you can pull more than a G-force accelerating forward because you can push against cleats in the floor.
Yeah. Speaking of weird drive systems, so this is 0-0. It is what we would call a
5,
bristle-style robot.
3,
This
2,
only has
1.
weapon motors.
Fight,
And underneath the
robots,
weapons
fight.
are these bristles that help them go forward. So you speed one up or slow one down in order to turn and move yourself around the arena. They can really only go forward.
Ooh, that is the armor package
Yeah,
off the
that's
front
gone.
of Wormhole.
But it does mean that these two independent kind of functioning robots on either side, they're all weapon. That's all weight and mass behind these blades when they hit you.
Look at Wormhole leading with the tail until it can get in there with the weapon blade between the two halves of 0-0.
Wow.
0-0 upside down. They can run like this, but they are not happy about it.
No, they go a little bit faster, but with a lot less control. Ooh.
Now you can see, oh, look at this. The bristles that you mentioned earlier, one has just fallen off of 0-0. So
Yeah,
if they get
that's
back
not
upside down, they're not going to drive much better than they do already.
And that other one's shaking like it's holding on by a thread. Look at that.
Oh, you see that washer, Kyle? That, I think, is a retaining washer from 0-0. We might have one of those two halves blow off.
Ooh, nasty hit there. Look at that bend in the frame at the bottom.
Forget the bend. Those two halves, complete stoppage. They are done.
Tap out.
That is a major failure. What a 1-2 combo hit. You can set yourself up for that, but you cannot skill yourself in. You have to have a lucky shot, and they sure as heck got one in that exchange.
I gotta say, those wheels worked pretty well.
Yeah, fantastic. And look, you can, like an 80s kid mohawk, they're still standing proud. I don't know. I don't see any damage to those studs. That's fantastic.
Yeah, really beautifully done by the Wormhole team. It's been a while since we've seen Wormhole. I think it was champs last year. Mid-cutter spinner design, smaller weapon blade profile, but man, does it hit hard and spin up fast. And I do love the aesthetics on this robot. The purple and the pink on the black. It's nice. It's a good looking machine.
It's sleek. It's slick. It's excellent.
We got Honey Fied going up against Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, I really enjoy this combination. Dumb and Dumber had a pretty fun fight that I caught the second half of earlier while I was working on some safety stuff. They, as a multi-bot, it's a perfect name, honestly.
Yeah.
And Honeyfied has been, well, they've been cutting opponents here for quite a while.
It's a great machine.
It really is. So reliably entertaining, all of the honey-related robots we have now. I don't know what it is about builders and bees, but there's just an extreme affinity, it seems.
You want to emulate the busy little bees.
Yeah.
That keeps all the bad thoughts out. You're just too busy being a busy bee, building robots.
Speaking of busy bee, something interesting going on here. It seems that they were not able to turn off wormhole.
So there was some damage, I guess, to that access hole to get them to their switch.
Right, and so sometimes you just have to take a panel off to get access to that switch. For those at home that might not know, all these robots are required to have a way to turn the robot off entirely. Like, power has to be cut to everything, so it can't suddenly come to life unexpectedly or anything along those lines. That can be a switch, that can be a plug, it can be a number of different things. That's what you see the builders using screwdrivers to actuate and articulate at the beginning and end of the match. But as Kyle said, these things can get misaligned.
Yeah.
Heck, sometimes you can have a weapon hit right to a switch, and it doesn't turn the switch off. It just makes it on forever.
Yep.
And so sometimes you have to open it up and unplug a connector. Sometimes you have to cut a wire
just to
turn
make it
off,
safe. Yeah.
To make it safe, to get it back to the pits so you can work on it in a controlled environment.
Yeah, that's all a switch is really a gap in the copper that's electrifying the robot that you can close the gap and put more copper back in there. Well, sometimes you can get that gap closing piece jammed up to the point where it will not come out. So you'll have to do some creative surgery on the robot to make it safe to take it out of the arena. We've got 12-pound action coming your way. We'll mix in a little bit of 3-pound action on top. But we've got one more 3-pound fight here. Very excited about it. In the 12-pound arena.
Shark and Anubis.
It's going to be fun.
So I know, rather I seem to recall, that there are sharks out there in the wild that are essentially baleen feeders.
Yeah.
For those that might not know, baleen is the sort of like cartilagey mechanism through which the filter feeder whales and other large animals collect krill and other small critters, plankton, to feed on in the ocean. And they have this like creepy finger-like look, and that's why we call the armor that you can see on the left-hand side of your screen on Gummy Shark baleen armor. In the fight, it tends to have lots of little fingers that absorb and deflect energy. It works really well. Gummy Shark is bringing both the whale vibe and the shark vibe at the same time.
I like it.
I like it too. It's really going to be interesting to see how it holds up against Anubis. You don't see egg beaters going up against Gummy armor all that often.
No, Anubis has been working beautifully as of late. This is one of those teams that comes very frequently and gets a lot of reps in at these tournaments. But I don't think they've really faced anything like the Gummy Shark before.
Very
a lot
fast
of speed.
start from both robots. Anubis tossing Gummy Shark into the air, getting them onto their head. They had to self-right. They were able to do it relatively quickly. But they're on the defensive now, Kyle.
A lot of lift from that kind of front plow on Gummy Shark whenever they spring forward.
Ooh, look at that. Anubis was able to get under again. They're consistently able to put Gummy Shark on its head. They need to start chaining these attacks and delivering the big blows while Gummy Shark is disabled.
Now, I will say Anubis got very upset in their last fight, which means this is an elimination fight for them. If they lose, they go home.
You can see Anubis is running some white armor on top of the robot to defend against that saw on Gummy Shark, but there's nothing on the underside of the robot. So when they're upside down, they are hyper vulnerable.
Yeah, and that armor on top has slowed down that saw, but it certainly isn't going to stop them if they get a good pin.
Yeah, it might stop the first shot, but if you got a good pin, you could get 3-4 in a row potentially. Anubis has lodged themselves in the arena wall and take a massive hit from the saw blade on Gummy Shark in the process. They are sitting motionless in the arena. That could have been the killer blow.
Yeah, Gummy Shark certainly acting that way, although they're missing the blade.
They exploded their weapon in the process. They had one kill shot in the barrel. They spent it, and it's all it took.
What a way to be eliminated from the tournament. The Anubis team looking very disappointed. They are going home before the bracket even starts.
Look at the smoke starting to come out of Gummy Shark.
I wouldn't say Gummy Shark won that fight so much as they didn't lose it. They are barely holding it together. Smoke coming out of the machine. The weapon is off.
Sometimes in a fight, it's not about winning. It's about being the one that loses second. Exactly. And that's what happened to Gummy Shark.
They just lost second. Yeah, look at the hub motor.
They're like, well, I guess we don't need to put a weapon lock on that.
Nope, the built-in weapon lock.
It's just a really bad coaster now.
Wow. Yeah, tons of work to do on this machine back up in the pits. End of the day for Anubis.
Look at that slice on the top of Anubis.
It literally looks like,
look at it.
Yeah, look at that.
I can't tell, but that's heavy. There's carbon fiber under that, Kyle. So if what I think happened, it sliced all the way through that armor, all the way through the carbon fiber into the guts of Anubis.
Yeah, cut a wire, hit a connection point, something, and just shut that robot off.
You got to remember, these things are built like tanks, but they are still holding relatively delicate electronics together internally. I mean, it's no different than a lot of electronics things. It's regular wires. Think about how delicate those are.
Soldering a tiny little wire into a connector doesn't necessarily mean it's the strongest thing, right? That's just how you have to connect these things to make them work.
I saw a competitor earlier today. They just filled their robot with expanding foam after they put it together. And it was like, yeah, it'll hold everything in place. It'll cushion the blows. It was one-time use, but
sure.
But I guess it works. I mean, yeah.
Oh, hey. Welcome,
happy folks.
Good to see you here at the National Havoc Robot League. It's always fun to get the fans out there.
I do appreciate the excitement that we get. The people who are coming to watch robots earlier in the day really get the whole story of how these robots are coming into the finals at the end of the evening. And there's something really exciting about that. It also ups your chances of maybe running into a builder, getting some cool bot merch, or perhaps even a little memento, a robot chunk that was energetically removed from your favorite competitor. Looks like we are loading into Cage 1 right now. Scorpion X and Buzzkill. Scorpion X, you can see here on the left-hand side, tremendously unique spinner design. This is kind of like Oh man, think about the lazy Susan that's in your microwave.
Great way to describe
it. You know, it sits on those little rollers and it rolls around. That system is in the big spinning disc that's on Scorpion X's weapon. So instead of having a belt or a chain or whatever, it just has little wheels that roll against that weapon and get it up to speed. And that gives it a tremendous amount of compliance and reliability and simplicity in packaging, all of these interesting things. Trouble is, it's very hard to get right.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they got it right. It's going to come down to the proof in the pudding in this fight. I have been very excited to see it in action, though.
They're going up against probably the best undercutter driver in the sport. This is Liam King of Team Honeycrack today. Some days he's representing his college. Some days he's representing Team Honeycrack. They're all Marylanders. I love the top plate on Scorpion X. This like 3D printed kind of topography. It's really cool.
3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
And we are off. Look at this. Scorpion X getting kicked to the curb there. The right-hand drive system not working great, but that weapon is spinning up nice. Oh, they tried to lead with the weapon and just got thrown away, but now Buzzkill is going flying away. And Scorpion X getting caught under the housebot in the process.
Look at that damage to the side armor there from the undercutter.
That is a lot of damage. Yeah, they're getting torn apart by the undercutter on Buzzkill.
That was a sting attack from Buzzkill there. Did you see how quickly it went in and out with that?
It was waiting for the moment, and it took the shot, only to get a tap out immediately after the unstick.
Yeah.
Not the performance that they wanted in this fight.
Very impressive work. More 12-pound action coming your way. We've got a bunch of interesting robots coming up. We're going to have FTP taking on Clip It.
I miss FTP. This is going to be great. And Clip It is a wonderful new entry from a returning team. We thought we were going to see something very different from them at the beginning of the day, but the robot looks strong. They're clearly getting some bugs worked out, but the core, everything about it just seems like it has potential. So to build on that, Kyle, we've got kind of a packed 12-pound class coming up. Experimental designs, good builders, great drivers.
It's nice to see so many people trying their hand at that division.
It's funny, we used to have an influx of kind of creative new designs at the beginning of a season. The middle is where people would start dialing in, and then you get a flurry of last second, like maybe this will work at the end of the season before championships.
Yeah, good way of describing it.
This year, we're seeing the exact opposite. Everyone who showed up beginning of this year showed up and said, this is what I'm bringing, this is what I got. I've been prepping for this for months. And it's now the middle of the season where we're seeing these sort of inventive new designs crop up and people try new things. And I wonder, so we have a bit of a summer break here at NHRL. We've got a couple of months that are not following our usual schedule. And so that makes for an interesting time to try something new and then have a month or two to work on it before you come back strong in the late summer.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if that's intentional or just luck, but I'm excited for these builders to be able to take advantage of that. I was interested to see, I don't think it's quite ready for prime time, so to speak, but there is a new house robot in the works as well, Kyle.
Really?
Yeah, if you...
Did we put a tail on it or a lifter?
Not to my knowledge.
Oh,
but
good.
It is fearsome. It is stronger. It is harder to stick. I think the robot gods heard this uprising from the 30-pound class saying we can hold you back, and the Housebot family collectively said, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Fair.
And they manifested this new house robot. So builders beware, if your strategy relies on holding back a Housebot, that might not work much longer. This could be your last hurrah in that approach.
We've got 2 more fights till we start our KO show.
I do love a good KO show, and it's aptly named. There are so many robots, obviously, that are on their last chance to make it into the bracket, but also you've kind of cleared out the people with teething issues.
Yep.
You have just a stacked house at that point. There are no slouches left. And so every fight turns into this do or die, I'm going to break stuff kind of energy in the house. And it's funny how it's developed its own experience, very separate from the qualifying and from primetime.
Yeah, it's a lot more just throw it all on the arena floor energy. If you lose, you go out, so you may as well do everything you can.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've got the other thing that happens is earlier in the day during the KO show, you've got a little bit of time to still fix things. That gets very difficult at the end of the day. So you might need to be a little more conservative. That middle of the day rush of fights to qualify, you're throwing everything on the table.
Yeah. All right, both bots are turned on in standby mode, ready. We're going to see a little Twitch test, make sure everything's functioning. And then our officials will get this fight started. There's Drew Davis of Schenectady, New York. He's here with a ton of students today and a ton of robots. I think he's helping to run 8 robots.
He literally showed up with a bus today, Kyle.
I love that for him. He's an individual competitor at these events, and then he's also an educator who does a fighting robots club at the school. And so he brings a lot of those students to events sometimes too, like once or twice a year.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight.
Away we
Robots
go.
fight.
Clip it fast out of the corner, locking horns with FTP. FTP getting the better of that exchange, but the armor package has fallen off of the top of FTP.
Yeah, it was just chipped off. I mean, look at that.
That is a wild outcome. The house robot is going to try to get these 2 robots separated, but I have a strong inclination that we are going to require a calibrated, trained crowbar is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, crowbar
technician.
unstick.
Yeah, that is what's going to happen here.
Trying to separate these robots with a little bit more force, but Flo's really struggling. Flo, the house robot.
Give me good loving situation there, but Flo's going to get the robots at the arena door. They are going to get disintegrated. I'm using
Disintegrated, yes. It's one of those words where the pronunciation is very important.
I don't know. I think integrated is a wonderful word, and I would never want to insult them. Some cute stickers. Now, Clip It originally was going to sign up with a flamethrower shoulder cannon.
Ooh, neat.
They previously ran a robot called Impact Lens. And, oh, look at that. That is more entwined than I expected.
Yeah, no wonder they have to get this physical separation. There's one of those forks is just wedged inside of the weapon system on Clip It.
Now, we have seen this at a, progressively more common occurrence where this TPU armor gets sucked into spinning blades. I'm not sure. That might get flagged. So we have a question amongst stewards, the sporting experts within the building, and they look at robots and they say, is this an undue risk to getting entangled? Is this unfair? So they might take a look at FTP and say, that's a little suspicious.
Yeah.
Certainly not intentional, no harm, no foul in this case, but they might get directed to do things differently in the future.
So you can see the separation has happened and the bots have been left in the condition they were before they got entangled. So that means one of the bots, Clip It, is upside down to start this matchup again.
And we're back at it. Both robots, well, no, not both robots are moving. Clip It's moving, but FTP seems disabled entirely. Look at those robot guts on display. That is not a good situation. Quite frankly, one good hit on that and it'd be all over anyway.
Yeah, the official is
But let's take a
covering
look.
them out. The unstick has been called.
Nothing looks visibly horribly damaged on FTP,
No.
but it is simply not running.
Clip It and Flow both smashing into it, trying to maybe remake a connection with some impact therapy.
Kudos to Clip It and wanting to keep the match going. You know, that's a sportsman-like behavior right there. True sportsman behavior. But it's not going to be enough for FTP, and they will be walking away with a loss. Clip It is going to be walking their way into the championship bracket later today.
Drew a little bit frustrated with the outcome of that fight, still happy to see his opponent after it was over. Look at that top plate, protecting so much of the internals on FTP, and so much of it was exposed to that weapon after that impact.
You gotta wonder what happened in that fight, what went so wrong. I don't see any visible damage, but that is a kind of wonderful shot of the internals of the robot. You can see the motors driving the wheels and the weapon. You can see the big battery in the back, the speed controllers, the main power switch, and the wires connecting it all. Drew Davis, evidently someone who keeps his wiring tidy. There really seems to be a couple of schools of practice and approach in this situation. It's, well, Flo's having a good time there. Got a little excited. Venting its on-board fire extinguisher there for no apparent reason.
You know, sometimes you just gotta let off a little CO2.
Flo's just really into these fights, I think. Anyway, going back to the robot there, FTP is a robot that has a very tidy wiring situation. And some builders have that, and others, you just open it up and it's like a pile of spaghetti.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the spaghetti approach is defensible. You wouldn't think about this, but that spaghetti, the like coil of wire, it's kind of like jumping into a pile of hay.
Makes sense, right? You're not going to be able to cut through it.
Well, not only are you not going to be able to cut through it, but it's because it's all scrunched together and pushing in every which way, it's a cushion.
Yeah.
So anything inside of that cushion has an easier experience when there's a big hit. So the wire can actually become a shock absorption for the electronics inside of the robot. Of course, the downside of that is it's putting stress on your wires now. So you have to be very careful on how you do that. You want to wrap things with extra tape. You want your solder joints to be good, all that jazz. But it creates this kind of two-system approach. Either you've got wires packed in like crazy and they create a cushion, or you've got everything very well mounted and either cushioned or shock absorption mounted, whatever it is, with very tidy, short trails of wire, and that's it. And not a lot in between. The only time you see something in between, and this is why I pointed out, is when you see something in between, it usually means someone's rushed.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because it means they didn't have time to tidy, and they didn't take the I don't care, I'm going to cram wires in their approach.
It wasn't intentional.
Right.
Here we have Grandeur. It's a big, wide, big-wheeled robot with very grippy wheels.
Now, interesting note for Grandeur in this fight. These are smaller wheels than Grandeur usually runs, and a smaller blade. They're doing that because of the robot they are fighting. Ruin Force has a big horizontal spinner, kind of the kryptonite to a big wheel robot. And what these robots tend to do, what big wheel robots tend to do to fight their kryptonite is they get more compact. They have sturdier wheels, they have a smaller, heavier duty blade, and they hope that they can tank some hits on the wheels now, not get cut down to size by that big horizontal spinner.
Yeah, part of the reason the horizontals are so dangerous for these big wheels is because that impact from the horizontal weapon onto the side of the weapon for the vertical spinner, it's just horrible for the internals of the robot. It could even split the robot in half if you get enough force. It's, that 90-degree impact is really unfortunate when you're in this situation. Also, you can cut those wheels down to the point where your weapon is engaging with the floor instead of the opponent.
Fight, robots, fight.
All right, we are off. Take a look at these hits over and over. Grander really making the best of this.
Yeah,
Once they slow that weapon down on Ruin Force, they want to line up the hits, and that is what they are doing, throwing them into the corner.
You see that hit right on the weapon?
Look at the plastic being torn up. It's stuck in the wheel assembly on the right-hand side of Ruin Force.
Yeah, you're right. It's stuck. It's jammed in there.
That's a completely exploded drive sprocket, drive gear on that half of Ruin Force. There's no coming back from that on that drive side.
No, it's just going to get worse.
Think they made a liar out of me. They just powered through it. It's just shredding the plastic. That doesn't matter, though, when they're hung up on the rails and they get a knockout because they're stuck.
What a perfect way to end these preliminary rounds before our KO show. We'll see you in just a few minutes on the KO show. Looking forward to it. Every fight is a knockout. I'm really pumped.
I'm really pumped as well, and I'm Ricky Willems. That was Kyle Crouse. We'll see you in just a few.
Bye-bye.